Alright guys, so this is day one of Azure Administrator AZ-104. So let's get going. And oh yeah, it's pretty much day two actually. Yeah, why am I on day one here? Thank you, Zaki, for that. Okay, so here what we are trying to understand is that we have that's it. Okay, so there are still people joining in. Hopefully nobody's left. Okay, so let's try to continue what we were saying here. And there were some more students who were supposed to join, but I guess they didn't know that they were added to this Cloud 4-in-1 group, and then some of them are not there. So anyway, whenever they realize, oh, there's a class, they'll come. Okay guys, so let's go for what we were discussing, and this is Azure 104 course topics that we have discussed in day one video as well. So hopefully those who have joined today would have seen that day one video. We didn't do any lab that day, but from today we're going to start that. And what is our first lab? It is called a pilot project. So well, I just called it pilot project, but it's something that is mucho importante, or if I say it in an accent, mucho importante. So this is really important, and either you will see this already configured in the company that you are in, or they would be asking you, or if you join a new company, and you would see that it's already configured and you need to troubleshoot that. So what is it? So what we're going to do is, some of you may have done it, or few of you. So what we will be doing is, the first part of the pilot project is connect our on-premises. Ma questo documento che io vi sto per leggere, dovete non solo diffonderlo. Okay, so now I know that what is this one doing here. So please mute your mic, guys. And what we were saying here was on-premises, connect our on-premises environment Active Directory to Azure Cloud Active Directory. And the second thing is, we will, if we are able to do that, so there will be some tests that we're going to be doing, and some of the configurations that we need to confirm. So other than that, we will be then going for so connect our on-premises Active Directory to Azure Active Directory, and second thing is connect the GoDaddy.com domain, so www.godaddy.com domain. So it's really cheap, $1.20. You if you've bought it already, or you can go ahead and buy that from GoDaddy.com for 1 year, and to just make sure that you have unchecked the auto renewal, and that's the only thing you need to make sure. But it's just $1.20 or something like that. So connect the GoDaddy.com company domain name, as a tenant to your Azure Active Directory, right? So we need to do all that, and step by step we need to understand how to do it. What are the tests that we need to confirm from that? What is the benefit of these two, this connectivity? So in last class we have discussed that what is the connectivity of what is the benefit of that connectivity. That's seriously. So I'm just gonna create that diagram here, and that's it. So we first of all, the objective is, or objective number one is that connect your on-premises, on-prem not ORM, Prem AD to Azure AD, right? So first of all, what's the benefit of that? And we talked about that in previous class, and then we're going to go for the next objective. So the first objective here, why should we even do that? So we talked about last time that if you have on-prem, suppose this is a Toronto branch on premises, and it's a Toronto branch, and you have well, a company with 400 employees or 4,000 employees or 400,000 employees, whatever. So you have a lot of servers here, and those servers are all offering some kind of application there for the users, obviously. So either you have physical servers, or you would have actually either virtualization solution of VMware with VMware ESXi hypervisor, or you would have the virtualization solution for Microsoft, which is Hyper-V hypervisor. So this would be your Active Directory, and in this Active Directory, obviously, you have all the end users. So 390. Now why 390? Because the script I have only creates 390. So yeah, I have a poor script. Maybe some of you can give me a PowerShell script that creates 10,000 users or 1,000 users. So it will be fun. But any number of users, that's not the problem. The problem is that how to synchronize them to the cloud. But before that, why do we even do that, right? So why do we synchronize the users to the cloud? So first of all, if I create that environment here, this is a server this is a file server, suppose, right? And this is the web server, and this is the SQL server, right? And print server, and it goes on and on and on. So many applications are there. Antivirus server, right? There are so many employees here, and those employees are connecting to these applications from their Windows 10 machines, Windows 7 machines, right? Linux machines, maybe Win 10 machine. So what would employees do? They would just come every day, and they would log in. So log in, they would be first authenticated with Active Directory. Active Directory does three things: authentication, authorization, and auditing or accounting. So first they get authenticated, then once they are authenticated with the background Kerberos system of authentication behind the Active Directory, then uh, they can connect to the file server, they can connect to the web server, they can connect to the SQL server, or they can connect to an application that is connected in the background to the SQL server. So this is the whole procedure that is going on. But then the company decided that, hey, since the whole planet is slowly going towards the cloud, so why don't we also go to the cloud? And the company boss also heard that, oh, okay, I have a data center here and I'm paying dearly for that, thousands of dollars per month, maybe 30, 40, 50,000 dollars for the data center maintenance, the property rent, as well as the electricity, the hydro bills, and the security, and hiring administrators. So why don't I just use somebody else's data centers? And that is Microsoft Azure. There is AWS. They have data centers across the planet. Microsoft has data centers across the planet. So I need to save my cost of running my own data center, and it's better to do that. Just rent the hardware of Microsoft's Azure's data centers, and as long as I need the virtual machines there, as long as I need the storage and networking, I'm going to use that. Whenever I don't need that, I'm just going to delete those machines, and I don't have to pay for any of my data center maintenance costs. So I'm going to shrink my data center locally, but for now, what I'm going to do is, or the company owner thinks that he or she will do, is that to purchase some applications up there that they were planning to purchase and then deploy them in their virtual machines in their own data center. How about I just purchase that in the cloud? Okay, so SQL Server is there in my data center, and for that data center I'm paying a lot for just the maintenance day to day. So how about SQL Server? It's online, SQL Online, right? So, and then also some financial app that the company may have purchased, accounting applications or whatever, right? So there are two applications. I want my employees to not only log in from my local Active Directory and connect to my local file server, web server, SQL server, and the rest of the applications in the rest of the servers. Yes, they can do that, what they were doing every day. it should not be disturbed, but I want them to also connect to my SQL Online by first being authorized from an Azure Active Directory there as well. So when they want to use the resources of Toronto branch, they have to be authorized, authenticated from the local Active Directory. But when they are about to use the SQL Online and financial app or many other apps that the company has purchased or will be purchasing, so they when they are it was trying to connect to those online apps, they must be first authenticated, authorized, audited from an Azure Active Directory that is there. And from once they are authenticated, then they can go ahead and use those cloud applications as well. So first purpose is the boss is thinking that, hey, I'll just be in next few years, I'll be shrinking my current data center, and I'll be purchasing more of the resources up in the cloud. Where as long as I need it, I will just keep it. Whenever I don't need it, I'll just delete those resources, and I don't have to maintain my own data centers, right? So other than that, what we are thinking. So first is the local data center cost is saved. Second thing is, oh, my employees have to be authenticated first to use those cloud applications. Okay. Third thing is, my employees should not be remembering the username password to log in to my local infrastructure, and it should not be separate, and a separate username password to log into Azure Active Directory and to use finally the cloud applications. So they should not be remembering two separate usernames and passwords. The username password they're using to log in from local Windows 10 to connect to the local applications should be the same username password that they are getting authenticated from Azure Cloud Active Directory to use the cloud applications. So so the benefits, when we are talking about benefits there of having this kind of setup of hybrid setup, we can say is that lower application maintenance, because of you're not having no local data center. So that's another one. No local data center costs, or less local data center cost, because you're shrinking your data center. And then only so same credentials for the employees to use local or on-prem resources as well as cloud resources. On-prem resources and cloud resources, that is also called single sign-on, or SOO, right? So the benefits are there, and then the on-prem data center is continuously shrinking. By 2022, they're just giving a prediction that 80% of the world companies would have moved to the cloud. So you need to then have all those cloud skills as soon as possible for AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, and all other clouds, Office 365, then VMware virtualization as well. So on-premises data centers are just shrinking. So centers are shrinking more. So right now, this means that they will not be, medium to large size companies will not be putting all their applications in the cloud. They will still keep many of the applications in their data centers as well, for regulatory and compliance reasons, and somewhat security reasons as well. There will be a hybrid environment that you will still see, where some of the resources are in the cloud, and some of the company resources, like some applications are in the cloud, some applications are in the local servers. You will face that or see that hybrid environment in near future. So this means that we have to do some of the labs of which are related to hybrid environment, and there are three of them that we're going to be doing in this course, and then the rest online. So here, these are the benefits of that, and then then we can go for the steps, right? That how do we make it all happen? And companies really want have this hybrid environment, so users are synchronizations. So lab steps. what are we trying to achieve here? We need to, first of all, objectives are we need to synchronize all the on-prem. Just stick to the terminology, guys. Whenever you're talking in the interview, just mention on-premises and cloud, right? So we need to synchronize all the on-premises end users to Azure Active Directory, right? Of a company, right? So when we synchronize, the users will still be able to use the local resources as they were using every day, and they will still then they will be able to log into Azure Active Directory, get authenticated and authorized, and use cloud resources as well. So we need to synchronize all the on-premises end users to Azure Active Directory of a company. Users password must be same and working on-prem and in the cloud. On-prem and in the cloud, right? User's password must be same on-prem, and so we're gonna test that too. If the user profile change is a must, then where do we make the change? Suppose a users was just transferred from marketing department to accounts department. So where do we make that change? So the change. So where do we go to make that change? If the users were created directly in the Azure Active Directory, then suppose you want to change just the department name in the profile of a user John, right? But user John was created directly in Azure Active Directory. So you can make that department or profile change for that user in Azure Active Directory. But if the user Jack was actually synchronized from on-premises to cloud, so wherever the user came from, wherever the user was created and synchronized from, you have to go to that domain controller and make that change for that user. So suppose the department of Jack was changed from accounting to marketing, you have to go to the local Active Directory and then make that change the department from marketing to accounting, and then do a synchronization, send a synchronization from here to up in the cloud, and then Azure Activity will also be updated, right? So this is where we try to. So wherever the user is coming from, wherever the user was created, you have to go back there in a synchronized environment and make that change for that user. So these are some of the tests that we're going to be doing there. So now what are then the major steps for what we are about to do? So first of all, major things that we need to do is, yeah.
So we cannot do any changes on the Cloud Active Directory and Azure Active Directory.
For the synchronized users coming from on-premises, other than password, nothing else. Right?
Okay, so the benefit is only that the user can access the resources on the cloud. That's the only benefit of
Yes.
AD on the cloud.
So not only that, the synchronized users can access the resources in the cloud. At the same time, their local daily operations haven't been disturbed as well, and now they can access. Yes, as you said, exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, guys. So yeah.
Amir, I have a question. Why we have to keep two SQL instances? If it is local and online, so why we cannot keep only online? Why we have to keep two local as well?
So that is the company's requirement, and if you're referring to the diagram, so suppose there are some SQL instances, because there's so much SQL load there in the local environment, and it's being used here, as well as you're shifting towards cloud slowly later, or there is some separate applications that are connected from the cloud to the cloud SQL instead of connecting to the local, while there are some applications here who want to connect to local SQL. Because of the pressure, they can make separate SQL servers, or they can just shift that application plus its SQL server to the cloud and remove it from here. But yes, it would not be a very good idea that application is here and its SQL database is actually up in the cloud. Unless we have a very fast network there, it's going to be not a very good idea.
No, just I'm saying like why we have to keep two SQL, like say database is also, yeah. So instead of two, we can keep also one as well, right? Depends on company requirement.
So this SQL was there in the diagram just to give an example how many servers are there. But definitely either you keep it here or you keep it up there. That would be the best idea.
Okay.
Or if you need it in both areas, many companies have, or big companies have that. Some applications have not been shifted yet, so their SQL is still there. So that is also possible.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So here.
I just need to ask, like, in the last part it says if the user profile change is a must, then where do we make the change? Can you please tell us again, like, what does that mean?
So if the user Jack was suppose created in on-premises Active Directory, and the user so that user Jack was created here and then synchronized to Azure Active Directory. So if you want to make a profile change there, since user Jack was not created directly in Azure Active Directory, the user was created actually in on-premises Active Directory. So all the changes for the local user will be done here in the local Active Directory, and then the changes once done will be synchronized with a tool that we will be installing, and that is called AD Connect. So if the user was created here, you have to come back here and make the changes and then synchronize that user up in the cloud. If the user, suppose user John was directly created in Azure Active Directory, so all its profile changes can be done directly here. It doesn't have to be synchronized. So that was the point. Okay, so here
So we don't have, just a question, we don't have a tool like where it does this everything, like the whole steps automated. Like we don't do anything manually. Otherwise, we have lots of profiles to change, and then like we change on local Active Directory and then go to Azure. So it's a, like, it's a huge step. Do we have any tools where it does the whole steps automated?
Well, there are scripts that we can later make to automate all the steps there. But there's a tool called Azure Ad Connect. So once we make that change, suppose this is just one user, two user, three users change, and it's a regular ticket that we get. So it's one or two users or three users. Then obviously you don't need a tool, but yes, you need an automated tool if you have suppose 100,000 users there, and from time to time there are hundreds of users whose profile needs to be changed. So yes, there are many automation tools out there. There are scripts that you can create, or there are tools like Chef, or there are many long list of automation tools there that we can just purchase third-party tools and then make changes on bulk. Those are called bulk changes. Also, many scripts are available that do bulk changes, but at the end you have to go for Azure AD Connect, which is the connector that's going to help connect the two Active Directories together. So whatever changes you make with the tool, you then have to run the second or this Azure AD Connect as well to synchronize those changes to the Azure Active Directory as well. So this is included while you can just deploy any other tool as well.
If the user has been deleted from the Active Directory on premises, so how the user will gonna delete from the Azure after synchronize? What will happen in this?
So if the user is deleted there, so once you send the synchronization, so that synchronization will actually delete that user from there as well.
Immediately, yeah?
Yeah. Well, suppose you run the synchronization here after 3 hours. So in some banks, you can see that after every 3 hours, this synchronization done, and whatever changes we have made, they are just conveyed to the Azure Active Directory. So yes, whenever we make that synchronization.
If originally the user was created on Azure, then
if the user was directly created in Azure, then you don't have to go to on-premises Active Directory. You can make all the profile changes of just like department or phone number or branch or manager name directly in Azure because it was created in Azure.
including deletion.
Oh yeah, including deletion.
Thanks.
Amir, this is a typical example of hybrid environment, right?
Exactly.
But what if you had an on-premise environment, an Active Directory, and then you moved everything to cloud? Then that means the users and attributes, they were originally created in on-premise, but then they were migrated to to cloud. So in that case, any changes you do it on the cloud, right? On the Azure Active Directory cloud.
Yes. So this would not be then the synchronization scenario, and you have to do the migration and follow the migration steps. When you do that, so it would then let you do all the changes directly in Azure Active Directory. So
Also, if the user is created in Azure, will we be able to access on-premise servers?
So that's good. If you want to, normally this hybrid environment is for the support of on-premises branch and to synchronize it or run it in parallel with Azure Active Directory. So, but if you want the users in Azure Active Directory to be there in Azure Local Active Directory, yes, we can have to manually enable some steps. After that, you can have two-way synchronization as well. Yeah. So Chintan says in chat, or we can run a manually sync, right? Yes, we can run manually sync anytime we want. And Ahmed says the synchronization work both direction. Yes, we can make it work both direction as well. But by default, when you initiate the process, when you basically configure it, it's this way, one way. But you want to do two-way, then it's a manual process. Okay, so there's another scenario here by Samir. There's a chat in the chat. If both are cloud, yes, then synchronization can happen, and whichever user is created wherever, so you have to go to that source to make that change. So if both are cloud, one is Azure, one subscription, and you bought another subscription of Azure as well, right? Suppose you create two Azure subscriptions, two different emails, two different credit cards, two different names there, and then you want two Azure Active Directories too, or maybe an Office 365 Azure Active Directory and this IaaS Azure Active Directory both wants to get synchronized. So wherever the user was created, you have to go there and make that change and synchronize, send the synchronization. Or if it is AWS, or if it is Google Cloud, so it's the same. Wherever it was created, that's the main rule, right? So hopefully we are understanding everything, and you can then.
So we have one guy told cloud migration, like from local to cloud. Do we have coming in future like this?
So I will try to include that, and please do remind me that how to actually move. So from that, I can ask a question to everyone as well. Is this synchronization? Is this a move, or is this a copy that we're gonna do? When we synchronize, is it a move or is it a copy?
It's just copying the changes, whatever changes that were made.
Exactly. So the same user Jack is here, and the same user Jack is here up here as well, right? So in this way, it is a copy. It is not a move. But complete migration would be a move. And our scenario right now is hybrid, because majority of the companies you will see hybrid. But yes, please do remind me, I don't have that lab, but I'll try to create, because the lab is always fun. We understand everything in depth. So I'll try to create a move migration as well.
Thank you.
Okay guys, so this itself is not that it's a time-consuming lab as well. So all your questions are most welcome regarding this topic, and we can start actually the lab as well. So we could go ahead while all the questions are still very very welcome. So Ahmed says, after we create a user in on-prem, can he sign in cloud before he use on-prem? Well, if the user has a credential, yes. It's suppose you have it's Jack at on-prem and John at Azure. So let me just create Jack here as well, so we will all have we'll all be okay. So, and John here as well. Well, actually John was created directly here, right? John was born here. Jack was born actually in that village. John was born in that Martian advanced community here. Okay, hopefully there's no Jack and John here. Okay, so yeah, so yes, Ahmed, even if the on-premises account was not logged in or used, as long as the user knows the credentials of the cloud, yes, user can still use that. It is not a prerequisite. Hey, first log in from there and then I will let you use up there. So that's not a prerequisite. Okay. So
for me, I have last question in this issue. Yeah, if you apply multi-factor authentication to users, and after the synchronization happen, when user log on, the system asks user to enter the second option for the multi-factor authentication. So this technique will also synchronize to cloud, or what will happen in this case?
Excellent question. So the thing is that for cloud resources, MFA is purely for cloud resources, but Microsoft had introduced a MFA server on premises as well, which I recently saw that they are discontinuing. So in that case, if you can deploy an MFA server directly in your local or on-premises environment as well. But when they are planning to remove that, so obviously then they would be asking or expecting us to put some kind of agents of MFA there. Basically, it is for here, but if you want that MFA to work with local Active Directory as well, you just have to deploy that software locally, separately as well. Automatically, it does not work that way. Suppose you enabled MFA here, it will just work here, and for local resources, it will be without MFA unless you put separately an infrastructure of MFA here as well, Azure MFA. Okay. Okay, guys, very good questions, and every question is welcome. And I would encourage you to ask questions, but we still have to move ahead and do the lab as well. So it's a fine balance between while we're doing the lab, we can still talk about this and answer questions. And but let's do the lab as well while the questions still keep coming. So let's go ahead, guys, and try to first we understood the benefit. Second thing, it's in every company. Either it is already configured or they will have to be configured. Will have to configure if they do not plan to at once move everything to the cloud. If they don't plan to do that, and also they don't want to get rid of their local data center. That's the problem with 90% of the companies on the planet Earth. So then this environment is something that you're going to see pretty much majority of the companies. So what we will be doing here is that we need to create quickly in VMware Workstation our domain controller, a Windows machine with Active Directory and DNS installed, and then with the PowerShell script that I'm going to share, you're going to create 390 users there, and then once this is done, then we're going to hopefully you've all created the Azure free Azure 30-day cloud as well. Anyone who does not have, everyone has a Microsoft Azure right now, right? So we all logged in last time. So if you don't have Azure right now, then you can. Oh, so Kavita says no. Kavita, for this lab we need that. In fact, for the whole course we need that. So those who joined today, I'm just gonna briefly show you that you can go for create free Azure account. And that was one of those million steps that I shared on that message when I was saying, okay, please do this before. So I'm just gonna put that free software here, so just click on that link, Kavita, and try to follow the procedure. You have to just put your credit card there. If for now the credit card is not there near you, just ask any other student to share his or her credit card. Okay, don't do that. I'm just kidding. So yeah, but do create a free 30-day account there, and you can then follow the lab. Guys, one more thing here. Never fear, because if you first of all, it's a free 2-year account. Second thing, we're going to crazily do the lab. I try to go for as long labs as possible. Once you have gone through those labs, your confidence will be really good. And I try to put all the critical labs that I see in the contracts myself or projects myself, and those I hear from my system administrator friends that they're implementing this. So I try to put that in the course as well. So you would have the latest state-of-the-art labs done here. You get the experience here, get the better job outside, right? So don't be afraid of going through any level of tough labs there, right? Go jump right in, understand, get the in-depth experience, and put it in your resume, right? So if you have no fear, you will learn a lot. So okay, guys, here I'm just gonna try to create this steps. So what are our steps here? First of all, let's create our on-premises environment, And in order to do that, so there are certain steps there. So connect our on-premises Active Directory to Azure Cloud Active Directory. So that's the first one. I'll just go down here. So let's open our VMware workstation, whatever the VMware workstation you have, right? And second thing is whatever version of VMware workstation you have, right? And the second thing is that hopefully you have not installed Windows Server 2016. Let's make sure that you have Windows Server 2016 ISO. That was also in the list. That please make sure this is all done. I gave that list. So if you don't have it, you can just go to Microsoft website and download that. The link is there. I just put half an hour ago to the cloud group as well, our class group, cloud 4-in-1. So if you have that, let's start installation of Windows Server 2016, and there's a problem with that, so please do follow me. One more rule here is that this is, I call it an Einstein rule. So Einstein rule, and Einstein has nothing to do with rule, by the way. So if I no click, then you no click. So it is as simple, I can put in English, as possible. I click it and you click it. Oh, there you go. So Einstein would have said in that language as well, the old English, the Shakespearean one, right? If I no click it, you no click it, right? Or no it click it. So the thing is, if you go ahead, if you assume, oh, he's gonna do this and this, obviously he's gonna do. So no, I do a lot of customizations and I give the reason why I'm doing this, why not that, right? So if you go ahead at your own risk, go ahead. But then if you're falling behind, then sit back and enjoy the show, the rest of the show, and then complete the lab when the video is released, right? So we need to complete the lab, some of the parts of those today. So and even the Einstein spellings, I always get it wrong. Einstein. Okay, for next time. So if I no click, then you no click, and ask me the reason why I'm doing that. So we need to know the why. Then the next important question is how. So why and how are very critical. Now, okay, let's go ahead. We'll start the installation of 2016. Now, 2016 has an issue, right? It could give you the license error there. So I'm gonna use the installation. We will install 2016 with a workaround, right? So no one will get an error. Otherwise, majority get that error when they try to go ahead. So that please do follow me when you're installing Windows Server 2016 there. We will install 2016 with a workaround. Otherwise, you will get a license error. Otherwise, you will get a license. I haven't tried 2019, but I should have tried that license error. So we need to avoid that, right? So once 2016 is installed, then we will give static IP. So then we will. So there are some more steps. Activate it because it's a trial version for 180 days, which is 6 months. And I'm going to show you how. We will change our network adapter to VMnet 15. I'm going to explain what is that. And then we will change, put our static IP. We will put our static IP because local Active Directory first loves to have its own local DNS server, right? And it has to work with Azure as well. So I'm going to tell you what to do with that. So we will put our static IP, rename the machine, and then restart. After that, the most important thing, let's take a snapshot. So we're going to follow exactly these steps. Take a snapshot of it, because later I would ask you, maybe I will ask you to remove that domain controller, so this snapshot will help you save a lot of time. So after snapshot, then log in to local admin, and we will install Active Directory here and DNS. And then with PowerShell script, we will create 390 users, right? End users. Also, at the start of it, we need to have internet connection, right? So for internet connection, we will add a second NIC and give it NAT. So we're going to connect it to NAT. So hopefully everyone has VMware Workstation there. Mohammed Jafri is asking, can we use Windows Server 2012? Yes, you can use Windows Server 2012, given that. Oh yes, given that it doesn't give any error. So yes, install VMware tools. Thank you, Mohammed Akbar. Sorry, Ahmad Akbar. Abu Bakr. Sorry. This is really important. Even before we activate 180 days, so install VMware tools. Mucho importante. So install VMware tools, and that's it. Then obviously, well, we can just go on with the rest of the things as well. Activate and then turn off the firewall. But at the end of it, we're gonna turn off the firewall. So turn off firewall profiles, and also change the power options to not lock out on idle time. So we need to do all these changes so our labs is smooth later. So options to not log out on idle time. So all this, and let's do it, guys. So once this is all done, then our second phase starts, and that is actually configure. So then our second major step starts, configure Azure environment. So I'm gonna give all the steps there for the pilot project. So then I'm going to give all the steps. What are we doing and why we're doing that? So let's have our properly configured on-premises environment here. And so let's start with, let's open a VMware Workstation, and then we're going to go for, so Mustafa is asking which version of Windows 2016 to install. It is going to be Data Center, but if you installed Standard, then it's also okay, right? So let's go ahead, guys, and do that now. Am I recording that? Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna minimize this, and okay, this picture I'm gonna be adding more to it now, but this is just the basic picture that I'm putting in WhatsApp. Hopefully everyone's added to the class WhatsApp group, and you can see it there now. Okay, must change done locally plus sync wherever they were created. No sync needed if user created on Azure. Oh yeah, pharmacy card. Okay, so let's go ahead and then we're gonna go for, so either data center or standard. It doesn't really matter for this particular environment, right? And let's just simply, okay, I need to connect this phone. What happened? Anyway. Alright guys, so I'm just gonna open, I know this is a boring task for majority of us, but if our network or our domain controller is not configured properly, then obviously you won't be able to do that lab as well anyway. So I'm gonna go to VMware Workstation here, and hopefully everyone has downloaded the ISO, trial ISO of Windows Server 2016. So this is the VMware Workstation. It should be on the same page here. And suppose you're stuck with some error that is taking long time to troubleshoot. So let me finish the lab, and I will wait for a little time, and after that, you can just wait for the video and then we'll finish the lab. But try to understand. Understanding is the main thing here. If you can understand but you did the lab, so then it's a complete waste of time without understanding anything, right? So make sure that you understand everything. Even if you have to skip the lab now and not follow me, that's also okay. Otherwise, those who are following, I know you guys are sharp. So once you're on the home button here in VMware Workstation, there's a create new virtual machine. So let's click that, create new virtual machine. And I got 15.5 here. If you have older version, that's also okay. And typical, I'll just select the typical, then click next here. And then there is that VMware ESXi 6.6 detected. Well, obviously this is my other class, and I don't know why I even read it. So I'm just going to go for browse here. And I'm gonna just try to. So first of all, guys, we are supposed to give here the path of the Windows Server 2016 operating system, right? Right. Okay, thank you for that reply. So, but no, in order to avoid that error of license, there's a license error that comes here, and then we have to restart the whole installation. So I'm gonna do the workaround now, right? So I'm gonna click that. I will install the operating system later. So remember that Shakespearean, thing, or Einsteinian thing. I'll actually change Einstein to Shakespeare. How about that? So this thing, I know click, you know click, right? So if you're already gone ahead, way ahead, hopefully you don't get that error. Otherwise, if you get that error, then just start with me like this way. So I will install this operating system just like that. And if it's 2016, it's gonna come. If it's 2012 or 2019, it may not come. So I'm gonna click next here. So hopefully those who are following have clicked this. I will install the operating system later. Next. And then there is Microsoft Windows. So I'm just gonna keep it selected, Microsoft Windows here. And what we're installing here is not Windows 10. So I'm going to go for wherever it's written Windows Server 2016. So this is Windows Server 2016 here. And it's going to load the drivers of Windows Server 2016. So try to select the correct operating system. And let's click next here. Okay, so Chintan says in the chat, how come you have VMware Evaluation 96 left? We have 30 days left. So I am a VMware teacher as well, and I teach in different colleges VMware. So from there I got that license for 300 days. Okay, did I say 300 days? Okay, so here let's go ahead next, and so okay, so okay, there's a backup, please. So I'm just gonna back it up. Step one is this. So guys, someone is asking. Oh, so I'll block. Okay, so yeah, I'm just resolving kids' dispute here as well. So next, then I'm gonna click next here, and then here I will install the operating system later. This is what I have clicked here, right? Once this is clicked, I will install the operating system later. Then click next, and there is Windows and 2016. Then we need to just select Windows Server and just go down to this Windows Server 2016, and then we click at next at, right? So oh, okay, hopefully yeah, so it's 2016 exactly. That's the photo. Yeah, guys, I'm talking to a student who is separately also messaging me. So let's click next. So guys, here we give a name, right? So just you can give a name here, your first name. So if I type I'm Amir, so don't type Amir, you just type your name, right? And second thing is today's date here, 26Aug2020, and that's it. It's just for Azure. So I'm just gonna put AZ104. So I have a lot of other machines here for different courses, so that's why I'm just putting all this. Now, guys, in my laptop, I have actually 2 drives here. So I'm gonna just change the drive structure or folder structure, and I'm just gonna change the drive name D. In your case, if you don't have a second drive, just keep it C drive here, right? Keep it C drive. So here, I've put the name and I've changed the drive, but you don't have to change the drive. If you have a desktop and you have SSD as a second drive, then you can just change it to whatever the drive letter is. So I'm going to click next here. You can just keep it to C. Now here, specify disk capacity. So let's put here 200 GB. Out of habit, there's no specific need for that. But the thing is, it's a thin provisioned. So that's a virtualization concept where you have, what about Z? No, C is okay. C is okay. My other student, yeah, C is okay. So not Z. C for cat, right? Okay, so then you click next here. So maximum is 200 GB here. Well, it's not maximum. You can put it 1 terabyte. It is following thin provisioning. Thin provision just means that, or dynamically expanding, that it's going to not occupy all the space in your physical disk. This virtual disk that is about to be created will only occupy that much space which your software is about to take. So we're about to install what? Windows Server 2016. It takes how much space? Just 8 GB or 10 to 12 GB. So that's how much space it will take in your physical disk or laptop disk. So this is just the maximum capacity we're putting here. It's not going to occupy that because it is following thin provision or dynamically expanding concept. So second thing is we don't want to divide our disk into multiple smaller disks. Suppose your virtual disk expands to 200 GB, 100 GB, right? So it's a one huge 100 GB file. I'm having trouble right now to upload some of the older backup files which are actually 105 GB and 170 GB file. I cannot upload it to Google Drive or OneDrive, and I have to resort to, for one contract, I have to resort to now Glacier, AWS Glacier, that can accept more than 100 GB file size, one file only. So it also says here, if you want to distribute that file size into multiple parts, so it's going to create 4 GB chunk of those files, 4 GB, 4 GB, 4 GB, up to 100 GB. Or you want to stick to single file. So I'm checking single file because it is less messy. But in future, if you want to move that disk somewhere or upload that disk somewhere, make sure that you put it as multiple files then in that case, right? So we understand what this page does and click next. So then we're going to do some shopping here. We're going to go to customize hardware. So we're going to click that. Okay, what if we make it 60 GB? Mustafa says, yes, Mustafa, 60 GB is enough for our needs. Yes, it's okay. So, okay, let's go ahead, guys. And there's the memory here, right? So if your laptop has 16 GB RAM, so you can just give it 8 GB because we're going to install just one machine here. We're not going to install 5, 6 machines here. So if your laptop has 32 GB RAM or 24 GB, so according to that, so I'm just going to give it 8 GB now. Because majority of the laptops normally have 16 GB. If your laptop has 8 GB already, then give it 4 GB. If your laptop has 4 GB, then give it 2 GB. If you have laptop that has 4 GB RAM only, then just gift it to the teacher. That's the rule of this class, right? You don't need to work on that laptop. That laptop is not good if it's 4 GB, right? Just gift it to me. Thank you very much. So just kidding. Okay, so here let's go ahead. 8 GB RAM here, and then processors are 2, which is okay. Later, guys, later we intend to install Hyper-V here as well, because we need to make a duplicate or active passive machine, one virtual machine, active machine here, and its passive machine will be in the cloud, Azure cloud, right, with the help of a service called ASR, Azure Site Recovery. So in that case, in future, we're going to install here Hyper-V. So just click this virtualize Intel VTX EPT or AMD. Just click that. Go ahead and click this, because in future we're going to install Hyper-V here as well, right? So just go ahead and click that now. And also, so 2 processors, 8 GB RAM, and if you have, well, in CD/DVD, don't connect now anything because it might give you an error for, in case of Windows Server 2016, the license error. So then there is network adapter, right? So then yours. My options are different than yours. Oh, so yes, see this, guys. Suppose you have older hypervisor, older VMware workstation. See, so in that case, you see that on the second line, virtualize Intel VT. You see that in second line, right? So in that case, just click that. So just read virtualize Intel VT. If it's the third line, second line, just click that, right? So yes, it is nested virtualization. So virtualization inside virtualization. So we're going to install Hyper-V on top of a Windows Server 2016, which will be inside VMware Workstation on top of Windows 10. So it's nested exactly. So so whichever line will you see that virtualize Intel VT, just click that, right? And so then we were talking about network adapter here, right? So so viewer is saying what the, so hopefully that's you're not in trouble or something. So okay, network adapter here, NAT. So guys, first of all, it is bridge here. Bridge means that your virtual machine that right now you're installing will be exposed to your physical network. Bridge means your virtual machine will be exposed to your physical network. This means that somebody else sitting in your another room in your house with a laptop can ping your machine, and it will be on exposed to the physical network. Your machine will be getting an IP directly from your DSL router at home. So we're not going to bridge it So NAT is network address translation. So it will simply give internet connection to your virtual machine without exposing your virtual machine to your physical network, either company network or house network, right? So then there is host only. Host only just means that you have this virtual machine or operating system will talk to the host. Who's the host? Host is your Windows 10, your laptop on which this machine is about to be created. So that Windows 10 and the laptop is your host, right? So then there is a custom installation here. What is custom? If you go click this, you will see VMnet 0, VMnet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 up to 19. So these are 19 different networks here, right? These are 19 different networks. So what's the purpose of these networks? Suppose you have two virtual machines that are connected to VMnet 4 here. And suppose you create two more virtual machines that are connected to VMnet 5 here. So VMnet 4 virtual machines cannot communicate with VMnet 5 virtual machines now. These are totally separate virtual networks here. These are totally separate virtual networks, right? So in that case, so we're going to choose that later, but not now. It is like VLAN, exactly. Everyone knows VLAN. Guys, give me a second.
And divide the switch to multiple network. The physical switch create multiple logical network to separate it. Hello? Hello? No voice?
Okay, sorry. There was a phone call going on. Yeah, you can repeat the question again. Sorry.
No, just I answered the question of the VLAN.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Okay, guys. So here, thank you. And VLAN is yes. You just dissect the switch, and suppose it's an 8-port switch, and you have 4 ports on the right side connecting to different machines, and 4 ports connecting to different machines. So you can create a VLAN 2 and VLAN 3. So VLAN 2 machines cannot communicate with VLAN 3 machines. So this is just like VLAN, as you said. So this is, well, I'm just giving the purpose of this. Whether you're going to use it or not is later, but definitely later we're going to use VMware 15 for no particular reason. You can use any other VLAN here, but I'm going to explain later what are we doing and why we're doing that. So right now, and the last segment is that you can start, restart, or shut down machines together. You can group the machines together and then deal with those machines. We're not going to use that. So guys, right now we need to use NAT. Why? We need to use NAT because our operating system, I asked you to download the trial Windows Server 2016, right? So we need to activate the trial version for 180 days, right? Ahmed Abakar says, can I put different ports of switches to one VLAN? Yes, you can. In a switch, you can. You can port, this port, that port, this port, that port. So yeah, you can just configure that. So yes, accessing to internet. So we need to access internet for ISO there. Yeah, you can assign different ports to different VLANs. Mustafa says, thank you. Okay, so here what we're doing is that we're going to give it NAT because our Windows Server 2016 is a trial version. We need to activate it for 180 days or 6 months. So for that we initially need NAT on our first network card, right?
But even if you can put it on a bridge, still we can activate it in access internet.
Sorry again?
Even if we select the bridge mode here, so still we can activate the Windows and use the
from bridge
internet
also
access, right?
Yes, you're right. From bridge also we can activate, but the main problem with bridge is that it's exposing our virtual machine to outside environment. Suppose we install DHCP later, right? So this DHCP will be exposed to our physical environment here at home. So instead of DSL router giving a DHCP, which it will continue, our DHCP will also distribute IP to any new device that starts at home or in the company environment. So that's why it's better to keep it to NAT. But we don't intend to install DHCP here. So yes, if you want to go to bridge, yes, that is also okay. Okay guys, SLMGR. So yeah, Mohammad Abbas says SMGLR. So yeah, I think it is SLMGR, right? So SLMGR exactly. Akas also shows that. So how many number of days you want to activate that. Otherwise, renew. Oh, okay. Yeah, SLMGR and rearm. So yeah, Wakas, that is good. If you want to go for oh, okay, so you're just saying that you want to renew that activation after 6 months or 180 days, then you can just use that command. So yeah, I haven't tested that because yeah, but definitely that's a good thing. That's a good thing you shared. Thank you. So guys, make sure that you have 8 GB RAM, or if you want to go more, 12 GB, 16 GB, it's up to you if you have more RAM there. Processors 2, and make sure in the processor you clicked virtual Intel VT, and then network adapter, you're on either on bridge or NAT, whichever you want. But later we're gonna go to custom VMware 15 later, but not now. So now we need internet because we need to activate our Windows Server 2016 once it is installed, and it gets activated in few seconds. It's really fast. If it detects internet connection, it just downloads some files and that activates it for 180 days, right? Okay guys, so once this all is configured exactly as mine, so let's click close here. Let's click close, right? So once we click close here, then well, that's it. So let's click finito. It will be a good thing that some of the students here are from college where I asked them to take screenshots. So here in this, there will be no screenshots. Yay! Okay. So, but we need to understand it to get a good job. So that's where. So okay, guys, this is it. But remember that we don't have an operating system here, right? So there are some more changes we need to do here. First of all, while it is shut down, right click here on this machine and go to settings. While it is shut down, right click here and go to settings. Now what am I doing? So I'll show you now. It is normally if the settings have opened, try to go to options. So once you're in options, there is that advanced here. The last one here in the options tab is advanced. So there's normally it starts with the advanced version of BIOS. So it is UEFI. So better just go to the older version of BIOS. This is better to handle. So a guy saying, I tried installing VMware Workstation on Hyper server, but it did not let me. Just wondering if we have VM on VMware Workstation, it will let us enable Hyper-V feature on VM 2016. Yes, Wakas, it will, because but we have to add some code here, top secret code there, and it will let us do that. So I'll show you that code, and I will send you that code. You do that, and then it will let you. Otherwise, normally no, it's not gonna let you do that if that code is not put there. Okay, so there's that question there. Oh, so if you don't see BIOS or UEFI option here, then it is already BIOS. So suppose guys, your VMware Workstation is 2012, right? Suppose it's old one. So you won't see that option here. This means that it is already on BIOS. It's a newer version you have. It's already on the newer versions. So this means you don't have to do this particular step if you have older version of VMware Workstation. You're okay already. You don't have to come here then, right? You're okay already. It will work for you. It's already on BIOS. But for newer versions, everyone has this option. So if you have clicked the BIOS, that is one thing, right? So hopefully you have all clicked that. Let's go back to hardware tab here. So if you don't see that there, you're okay. Then let's follow this next step. Let's click the hardware here. Now what we're doing, we need to give the path of the ISO 2012 now. Oh, Wakas says that code, can I use vice versa? Oh, well, I use that code to install Hyper-V inside VMware Workstation. I am not sure if it works the other way. I'll just remind me and I'll send you that whole document with the code, and you can try it on your scenario as well, right? Okay guys, so here let's click the hardware and then click CD DVD here, because So here, CD DVD. What are we doing here? Can you go back to options, please? Mustafa says. So on the options, Mustafa, you can see this advanced. If your VMware workstation is 15.5 or 15 plus something, so this normally is on UEFI and it gives us issues. So just change it to BIOS here in options, advanced. Oh, okay. So once you've done that, let's go to hardware. Now we're gonna give that path to Windows Server 2016. This is a workaround that we have to do, otherwise we get that error of licensing when we install 2016. So let's go to the CDDVD now. We're gonna give that path to ISO and okay, one more thing, guys. Just wait for me. Just put it back to use physical disk. Sorry about that. Once we click that, right, then just keep it clicked on use physical disk drive, right? Just keep it like that as it was. If you've done that, just go ahead and press OK, because we want to save that change that we did in options and advanced. We need to save that first. So I'm just gonna press OK instead of making the second step. I'm gonna press OK here, right? So once I've pressed OK, let's power on the machine first. It just works that way, right? Power on the machine. We know that there is no operating system inside, but go ahead and power on. Once you power on, what happens? It's looking for an operating system. It's not going to find that. We know that, right? Okay, if this comes, just click no. If this message comes, just click no. So it's going to look, and it's not going to find because we didn't attach anything. So obviously it's understandable. Now when it is powered on and it cannot find the operating system, now is the time to give the path of the operating system and simply restart this machine, and it's going to go smooth after that, supposed to go smooth after that, and it should be good, right? So yeah, click no to that. Yes, to that picture, click no. When you must be hearing that right? So in that case, I have to just reply, which is good. So I'm just gonna make it short sound. So guys, let's give the path here to the so it's not finding anything. Now I'm gonna right click here and go to settings, right? Why? Because I need to go to the CD DVD and I need to give the path to the 2016 and just simply restart or reset this machine. So I'm gonna go to settings now, and now I'm gonna give that path, right? So there's that CD DVD here. If you reach that CD DVD, you see this connected box and connect at power on. So there's a click here, there's a click here, right? Just make sure that you're clicking both or checking both boxes here, and then I'm going to go for use ISO image file. Okay, let's click browse. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna click browse now after checking those two boxes, and I'm just gonna look where is my ISO. So I'll actually go for the older ones, and 2016. Seriously, I have another one. Oh, Windows Server 2016 Data Center Evolve 14393. Okay, I'll just put that. So guys, the path is there and connected is there, so we should be good. Windows XP. Oh yeah, I have that. This is for antique. Maybe I'll sell this ISO for $40,000 just as an antique. So Windows XP, and let's press OK now. And obviously, once you press OK and give that path, so I'm going to restart this machine as well. So I've given that path. It's not doing anything, right? So I'm going to right click, and there's a power, and there's that restart guest. Restart guest. So now let it go. So if you move the ISO somewhere else, will the path be recognized? So yes, once we give the path, then please do not move that ISO from there, right? Well, not during the installation. Later, once the Windows is fully installed, yes, go ahead and do that. Then you can change the path. So guys, it is actually has reached this page. Hopefully those who are So Mohammed says why we did that. So this is a whole Mohammed, if we install normally Windows Server 2016, majority of the students get a error, which is licensing. There's a licensing issue with Windows 2016. So many students get that. Some students do not get that, so that's okay, but majority do get that. So that's why I just went through this from the start instead of one by one troubleshooting it for everyone. So I just went through this, so I don't have to troubleshoot for anyone, right? So I'm gonna go time and currency format here, guys, and that is this. Time and currency format is this, right? We can just change the time zone here, or if you click next and install, so later you can just change the time zone at that time when you log in as well. So I'm just changing the time zone here by putting the English Canada. So there's English every country, and I'm just going up until I go for this is English Canada, right? So this English Canada. I'm gonna click that English Canada and click that. So it's gonna just fix my time zone from here. Otherwise, if you forgot to do that and went ahead, so just later do it. And then go ahead and click install. Later do it and click install. And then, you know, the steps are so here, just make sure that you don't install the PowerShell version of CLI, the command line interface version of Windows. Just install the GUI, graphical user interface. So either you select the desktop experience standard or you select the data center evaluation desktop experience. So as a habit, I just go for data center for this particular lab and scenario, and even future labs, it's not compulsory to go for data center. It does not eat a lot of RAM and CPU as well, but just a bit more than standard evaluation desktop experience. So I'm just going to select the fourth one here, the last one, and click next. I accept the license terms and next. So here you can see either we upgrade or custom. Obviously we're not upgrading from any older operating system, so we're going to go custom here. We're going to go custom, and we're not partitioning any disk space here, so click next. Yay. So now Windows is installing. Yes, Mustafa?
Can we choose the core for this lab to synchronize the user to
Sorry,
Azure?
I have to turn on my volume. I just turned on my volume. Yeah, sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, I said, can we use the Windows core instead of data center in this lab to synchronize the user to Azure Cloud?
So you're saying that can you choose standard instead of data center?
No, core, Windows core.
Oh no, Windows Core. Then you have to use scripts. Yes. Suppose you install Windows Core and then install Active Directory and DNS. Yes. Then you can still work on it. It's just that you need to know all the commands, PowerShell commands there. That's all. But yes.
Yeah, I know the core. Somebody say core, not GUI. I know the core is command line, but I want to know that it's working on yeah. Okay.
Core is non-GUI. Yeah. No, but the question was, yeah, hopefully you understood that. Can we actually synchronize if it is core? So yes, if we know all the commandlets, yes, we can. So Tarek says at Mustafa, choose the last one from the list. Yeah, choose the last one from the list. Because I did not get that error though, and it automatically detected 2012 R2 and checked it twice. It did the same thing. 2012 R2. Okay. So, but you were installing 2012, then it's okay. Right? Yeah, it is.
Amir, for personal use, can we use the VirtualBox from the Oracle because that's free completely?
Yes, you can use VirtualBox. It's just that when you have multiple machines, it's a pain to configure those network options. But yes, VirtualBox is free, and this is what we should use. Yes, you're right.
Actually, I have not given any ISO, but when I converted to BIOS, it automatically detected 2012 R2. I don't know, but I'll check it later. I just wanted to share. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Strange. While you're installing 2016, then it detected 2012 R2. Wow. Okay. Okay, so guys, while it is installing, no ISO attached at all. Oh, okay. Cool. Well, then it defaults to, I guess, you know, maybe that's just the so guys, here, that's one thing. While it is installing, we don't have to really wait for that. We can use this time to actually log into Azure. Yay! So or yay. Okay, so what do we do in Azure while we can use this time, right? So in Azure, I can just write those steps first of all, that log into your Azure Portal, right? And then open Azure Active Directory, and then we will create one new user in Azure AD and give it global administrator privilege. Global administrator privilege, right? So we're gonna give that Active Directory user global admin privilege. Why are we creating that user, and why should we give it global admin privilege, and what is global administrator privilege? So global administrator privilege in Azure for any user is the top privilege. So this means that that user has all the privilege to do anything across Azure. Second thing is that well, there are other privileges as well. There's a combination of those privileges you can use for some other specific tasks that only global administrator, just being global administrator, cannot do. So first thing, we want to create a user to give it highest rights, highest privileges in Azure. Okay, why do we want to do that? Because if we go to the diagram back here, so okay, so there we need a user. So we're going to use two things here. See this? Now please try to understand that Azure AD Connect is a tool we're going to use to create a bridge between the on-premises Active Directory and cloud Active Directory. So Azure AD Connect is going to connect the two Active Directories, but Azure AD Connect alone cannot successfully do the synchronization. You need a highest privileged account to initiate the synchronization from on-premises Active Directory to cloud. So basically we need Azure global admin user to authorize the synchronization process between on-prem AD and cloud AD, right? So you need some user account to actually make this happen. So Azure AD Connect will only create a bridge between the two, but who will authorize? Now this is the account that we will create and give it highest privileges to authorize and initiate this synchronization from on-premises to cloud. So we understand why now we need to create an account with highest privileges, right? Okay, so we're going to do that, and that's some of the steps there. And second thing is later we will, okay, so for this account, for this new account to work, to do anything, right, or to work or to be used in the sync process, right? If you want this account to be used, then we must at least once log in from this account and change password. So this is by design by Microsoft that, hey, you have to use this account at least once, and you have to change the password, and then this account can be used for the process of synchronization. Suppose you created the account, but you did not log in once. When you try to use it in the synchronization process, it won't be used, and Microsoft, it will just give you some error, right? So you have to do this at least. So once you have to log in and change the password, and from that new changed password, you can use this account to authorize the synchronization or initiate the synchronization process, right? So if that is all done, then let's download the Azure AD Connect tool, which is a very small file, and copy it inside our working on-prem domain controller, right? So these are the steps later we're going to do. Okay, so Wakas says, can enable MFA at the same time for privileged account? Well, it's okay to do it now, but yes, we're going to go through that later. Since you've gone through that process, you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. But MFA is a separate topic that we're going to go for, and we have to do those labs separately. So right now, we need to concentrate on this lab. But yes, if you want, you can do that, and yes, technically, yes, it can be done. Okay. Okay. So then there is Mustafa says, are we going to add the domain to MS Azure now? No, Mustafa, we're not going to add it now. First, we're going to go this on-premises scenario. So if the synchronization is all done and we have done some tests after that, we're going to go to godaddy.com and connect the domain from there to Azure as well. So that would be our second major step or lab, but not right now. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, guys, so if the Windows is, well, in my case, it is there, right? It is installed now. So there's a class password that I use, and you can use that class password, or you can use another or any other class password. Just make sure that you don't forget that. So whenever I say, hey, put a class password, so it's good to put this class password. Small ABC, capital ABC, keep pressing shift 1 2 3 will give you exclamation mark, at sign, and pound sign, and without shift 1 2 3. So suppose this doesn't work because you know, in many colleges we have done that. So Microsoft has started saying that we have seen this password so many times. I take it as a compliment actually. So so they actually reject that in some cases. In that case, alternate class PW can be XYZ, right? So this is other password normally I use if the Microsoft says that the first one we have seen too many times. I've been doing that for the last 4 or 5 years with every cloud class. So Microsoft has seen this password too many times now. Okay, now these are the, so I'm just going to put that class password here in local environment, and wherever it asks in Azure, I'm going to put that. If this is not possible, then I'm going to go for this one, right? So, but you want to use your own password, go ahead, just don't forget it. If you forget it, then you're stuck. Good luck. So I'm just going to go for that, and small ABC, capital ABC, shift 1 2 3 without shift 1 2 3, and then small ABC, capital ABC, shift 1 2 3 without shift 1 2 3. Yay! So this is the password I'm using, and click finish. And then on the VMware workstation, you can see these 3 buttons here. So just click that 3 buttons to send the Control Alt Delete there. So I'm going to click that 3 buttons, this one, and then I'm going to put Control Alt Delete. And that same password, small ABC, capital ABC, shift 1 2 3 without shift 1 2 3. And I am putting there. So guys, is the Windows installed for everyone, or is it still in the process? Okay, so Sandeep says yes, Tariq says done, Zaki says installed, Waka's almost there, Mohammed Jafri yes, Mustafa says installed it, Chintan says done, Nargis installed, Ahmed done, Khwaja done, Mohammed done, and Ashraf done. Viewer not yet. Hey viewer, who are you? Are you Trump, or are you you know, Tony Blair? Or wow, that was back, way back, Tony Blair, right? So Imane done, everything done. Okay, so that's a lot of dones and yeses that installed. So well, that's cool. Okay, so guys, well, 2 or 3 are not done. So now, well, Windows is installed, and if I go back to this, there will be a lot of steps that we need to do here. So I'll be putting this all I'll Control C, and then I'll put it in the group here. The on-premises steps that we need to do. It's in the WhatsApp class group as well. Hopefully everyone is a member of that WhatsApp group as well. That's where at least the on-premises we're going to go for these steps now. But it's better to wait for others as well, while we have alternate lab as well, right? So see this on the Azure. What we can do now is, while the installation is still going on for some, so for few, so we need Azure Global Admin User to authorize. So let's create that Azure Global Administration account, and then simply log in from that account and change the password. And so this is the process we can do, which is very crucial from the Azure Active Directory side, right? And we understand now why we really need that in this process of synchronization. So let's go ahead to Azure Portal. I hope everyone has an Azure Portal. Anyone doesn't have it, you can just mention that, and I gave that link, and you may have created it by now. Otherwise, if you don't have it, so just try to understand the lab and do this afterwards when you get the video. So I'm going to go to the portal here of Azure. So I'll just go down, go to the browser, and there is on Azure, I'm just clicking this portal, right? This portal here. So once we are in Azure, I'm just going to use my account for last decade, and I have already configured MFA and 783.984 783.984. So guys, that is really crucial, that you must use MFA whenever you're talking cloud. Whenever you're using browser, just get the habit of using MFA and reduce the possibility of being hacked. Make it a habit to use multi-factor authentication. So I'm going to show you that how to configure it here, but to make it a habit to use multi-factor authentication now, and you will have that habit in the production environment and in the interviews. You will always be security sensitive. You have to be security sensitive if you want to land for a very good job. Just show them you are so concerned about the security of the company's resources, right? Okay, so once we are inside, hopefully you are inside and you see that page, somewhat that page. Do not compare each and every service here. So and then let's go to the portal menu here, right? Portal menu, guys. There's a habit also that normally I ask everyone to put that go to the cost management and then do anything. So I'm going to go way down here. Hopefully everyone's following. So see this cost management and billing. Okay, she was also done. So here's the cost management and billing, right? So click that cost management and billing first. In the cost management and billing, I can see, whoa, $54. Are you kidding me? I'm so reckless. Okay, so anyway, I reap the reward of what I do, and I just crazily go towards as complicated labs as possible. So we could all have gained that experience, right? I do a lot of testing, so ignore that I have that. Obviously, you can ignore, but I can't. Okay, so I'm gonna click that, and my billing here is, so I want you to have this habit of checking. Even if you have free trial, you must visit this option very often. Normally we create alert for that too, but if I just check that, oh, this was a SQL database. Oh, seriously? Okay, 45. And US East, I created a database there as well. Oh, okay. Anyway, so just make it a habit of visiting the cost management and billing, right? And because you're not gonna only be the technical resource, you're gonna be the accountant there for the cloud as well. Or it's not exactly, you don't need to go for the accountant course, but make sure that you have a very diligent eye on the accounts and cost and billing. Okay, so they all rely on your decision to create how many machines there, right? So let's go to
Amir, sorry, for this charge which you have on your account, this is just because of you are practicing with the libs and deleting this charge happen, or just by mistake? It's
no,
you
I have
forgot
been
something.
doing some for George Brown College, it's starting now. I was doing a lot of labs for them. So they said that okay, whatever is the bill, just tell us. So that's that. Yeah, otherwise we are very careful normally, and we will do our labs and in a way that you won't get even charged a cent. But if you do get charged as a cent, 1 or 2 cents, it's very much worth it. Once you get a 35 per hour job, hopefully soon, so it will be worth it. So anyway, yes, this is for my George Brown practices that I was doing. But I just want you to visit it. Don't be afraid of it. Again, no fear, then you will only learn. If you're fearful, forget that you will learn anything, right? So, okay guys, while we were here, so go to the portal menu here, and then I hope everyone sees this. Okay, so Vikas says you should create new one. I just did it yesterday and it worked for me. New one? So Vikas, I'll be asking you then, how did you do that? What do they not check? Okay guys, so here, I'm going to go to the Azure Active Directory. Hopefully everyone's there. So click that Azure Active Directory in the portal menu, this one. So once you click that Azure Active Directory in the portal menu, then there's a users under the manage here, right? So let's click that users. So this users, and ignore that I have a lot of users here. Majority of you do not have more than 1 or 2 users. So guys, do you all have more than 1 user or just 1 in this area? Okay, so everyone says 1. Oh, 3? Khalid. Oh, so Khalid have been testing, huh? Okay, that's good. So that's good, guys. Now if you have 1, that's good. Let's go ahead. There's a new user here, right? So let's click that new user. Let's click this new user. So once you click this new user here, this one, so let's give it a name. So you can see that your whatever email is there should be showing there. In fact, let me just change it to my free account here. So and that is so let's go for your first name, and this is global admin, so we can just call it GA. Global admin. I've created that for many previous courses as well, so it says hey, it's already there as well. Okay, so I'll just go for 26Aug2020. So your first name, GA, is a global admin, and then 26 August, today's date there, so you can just create safely that account here. And once you go down here, there's a name that you need to put there, so you can just go for your name, your first name, and your last name. So I'm just gonna go for Amir Shahzad, and oh, name is the full name, and first name is Shahzad. Seriously, okay, first name Amir and Shahzad. Okay, so once you put that name and then first name, last name, then we go further down here, and it says auto generate password, which is okay because we need to change it. We need to log in and change it, and by design we must do that. If we don't, that's going to be a problemo. So it's not going to work then. Could you please show there, where is user? Oh, okay. So Imane, you can see that. Let me just duplicate that quickly. And I'm going to go to the portal menu, and oops, okay, I'm here. So Imane, do you see this new user here? So again, if I go to the Azure Active Directory, this one, and then there's a users here, this one. Once you click the users and new user, this one. Hopefully you saw that. Oh, you don't? What do you don't see? Did you create that account just now or in the morning? If it's been just recent, too recent, maybe it's not showing, but go to the portal menu. You don't see Azure Active Directory, and you can click on Azure Active Directory, and then you have to click users, and then hopefully you're not in Office 365. And guys, those who have Office 365 account, do not log in from that Office 365 account to this Azure. Do not log in from Office 365 account to this Azure. Your Azure account will be disabled if you do that. Oh, okay. So your new user is not enabled. Arthi says, what does that mean? Did we create a new user yet? I think we haven't created that yet, Arthi. So we're going to enable that. So don't go ahead because I need to show some more customizations here, right? So we haven't created yet any new user. So so guys, here what we're seeing is, let me know if there's a problem there. So guys, just keep it auto generated and click the show password. Guys, copy this and open your empty notepad and paste it there. Copy this and open your empty notepad and paste it there. So I'm just going to open my empty notepad here. It's very good because in future we're going to be doing some commandlets here, and you need to have the notepad open all the time there to put some things disabled there. Oh, Imani says yes, it is disabled. Oh, Imani, then if it's a free trial and it is disabled, this means and try to check what user account you're logged in from, and sign out, close all the browsers and sign in again. That's one thing. Second thing, I think you have to wait if it was really recently that you created this account. Humber account, not a very good idea. Go for a Hotmail account or Yahoo account. Anyone else using Humber account, guys? Well, those who are from Humber College. Arthi is using Humber. Arthi, you're able to see the new user? No. Okay, so I think Ivana is from previous batch of Humber. Arthi is from this batch. Okay, so Chintan, you're also using PDSB school account, and you're okay? It doesn't work with Humber account, she was saying. Okay. Okay, guys, so yes, this is something I forgot to mention. Please use public emails, Hotmail, Yahoo, or other Gmail, but don't use Humber email. Kavita, well, the Humber account that you use regularly, right? So Humber email. So don't use that and go for just your public email, right? Account with my personal email. Yes, personal email. Yes, Arthi. So Imane, yes, personal email. Try to use that and come back here and let me know where we are. I'll tell you. So guys, here my first name. So well, I'm just putting the temporary password here, right? And I'll just I'll just minimize this, right? Here, so show password is there, and just click your go ahead and copy your password somewhere, right? You will need that now. So then go down here in the groups. No, we don't want to make it part of any groups, but yes, we need to make it part of a global administrator role, right? So let's click that role here. Let's click that role, right? Let's click that role, and once you click that role, you can see all the roles that are here, right? So we go down here and click the role. What role do we want? If I just type global, is there a role with the global written there? Oh yes, there is, and this is a global administrator. So I found a global administrator role. Hopefully those are following have found that too. So I'm gonna select that global administrator here for that new user now and click the select button, right? So so once this user is made global administrator, so that's very good. You can, there's a block sign in for this user and it's on no, so keep it as no, but you can in future, suppose you want to block sign in for this particular user, you can come inside and click yes, it will be blocked. Osman says in the chat, is it same like full admin access in AWS? Yes, global administrator is the top. It is there, I think administrator only. I forgot the name there for that policy. And yes, it's the role here that gives full access exactly in Azure. So usage location, so where are you connected from? Where are you using it from? So hopefully everyone's from Canada, I guess. So this is, so just put the block sign in, no, don't change anything in block sign in, put the usage location, job title department, we can leave it as is, empty, we don't need to change that, right? So again, I'm just gonna go for this username is your first name GA 26 August 2020 and your email plus the free name there, which is dot on Microsoft.com. We need to change that later. and then the names, and then auto-generate password. Hopefully you've copied that somewhere or you remember it. And roles, we made it a global administrator, and we gave the user location Canada, right? If that is done, click create. Go ahead and click create, right? So once you click create here, right? Can we have a break fast? Oh, sorry, break. Oh yeah, guys, we need to have a break at 7:40. How about that? Oh, 7:50. How about that? So we can have 7:50 or 7:55 even, and then we can run and have both Asr and Maghrib, right? So guys, if that account is created, we need to simply log in from that account. So oh, it's done. Okay, so it has done. So guys, here you see that account. I don't, so I'm just gonna go for Armor GA, and yes, so this is my account. Now I need to just copy that full user account name as well, because it's really long, right? So I'm gonna click that, and I'm gonna go inside. So this is full punishment. It's a very long user name there that I need to log in from. So I'm gonna Control C and copy that, and that notepad where I put that temporary password. So I'm gonna put that name here. See this? That's how long it is. So it's and the password is this. So now I need that to actually, oh, she was also done. Okay, that's very good. Makas and she were done. So here I'm just gonna log in from that. How do I log in from that? So see this, you do not have to log out from this account. Either you can open another browser and another type of browser, like IE or Edge or Firefox, or you can go to this. If you're using Chrome, you can go to the top right and you can see this new incognito. This will help you not log out this root account or the top account and subscription account, and you can log in from that account as well. So new incognito if you're all using Chrome, otherwise new in private if you're using Edge or IE. So I'm gonna click new incognito. How do you go to the Azure? So portal.azure.com. portal.azure.com. Just log in, change the password, and then we can take that break from 7, whenever, until 8:20. So here, guys, I'm just gonna copy that very long, punishingly long username in that portal.azure.com in a new incognito or in private browser, and then I'll click next here, and you can see the password. So I placed it in that. I'll go for that temporary password. Now it's gonna ask you to change that password, right? It's gonna ask you to change that password. So I'm gonna put that password when I sign in, and there you go. So it's asking to change the password. So I have to put that current password which I copied from my notepad, and I'll have to give a new password. It could be the class password, small ABC, capital ABC, shift 123 without shift 123, small ABC, capital ABC, shift 123 without shift 123. Normally here Microsoft says, oh, we have seen this password too many times. Oh, okay, there you go. Sandeep already got that. So let me just get that to sign in. We have seen that password. Okay, so I'm just taking that as a compliment, and there was a lot of yeah. Okay, anyway, so thank you Microsoft. It was me. Okay, so XYZ, capital XYZ, shift 123 without shift 123. XYZ without capital XYZ, shift 123 without shift 123. I'm just putting that right. Okay, so we've seen that password. So I'm just gonna go for XYZ, which is our password, or if you want to remember any other, then otherwise this is the one. So alternate class password and class password. Remember, if you've been following that, so your on-premises password is this. So I'm just putting it in WhatsApp now. The class password and alternate class password. It's on WhatsApp as well, and in WebEx as well now. Okay, so I'll go back here, and I have placed here the alternate password I'm signing in, and yeah, now I'm okay. I'm gonna press yes. Oh, good. Okay, the other student is also done. Way to go, excellent. So guys, here in the notepad, just make that change of the password from this to, in my case, XYZ, capital XYZ, shift 123 without shift 123, right? So update your notepad now, because you're gonna need that for the actual synchronization. Let's take that break now and come back at 8:20. Okay, 8:20. I created a new account for Azure, Imani says, and you're logged in. Yes. Okay. So Imani, go to the new user, go to Active Directory, go to new user. Got this. Microsoft Authenticator. Start by getting the app. So yeah, we don't have to go for Authenticator, Mohammad. Now, if you want to configure it, and if you know how to, then go ahead. Otherwise, don't configure the MFA now, or you can just skip this option if there's a skip button there. And 60%. Okay, but allows you when you log in as user. So yeah, I just copy all this user and Jazz and go to. So I'll show some who actually. Okay, so those who are done, you can have a break till 8:20. 8:20 sharp we start. Those who are, I'm just here to help now. New user with MFA configured. Zaki says, "Oh, wow, man."
I don't have the option to skip the authentication. I don't know what to do.
Can you go back there and explore what else can be done? So I'll drag this screen here. How did you get to this? Keep your account secure. Your organization requires you to set up the following methods of proving. So I think you have a policy there that whenever new account is created, you have to set up the MFA. So have you been, like putting some policies there? Is that a totally new Azure, or have you been playing with that? So because it says require, so during the setup, some option was pressed, or is the policy was created there. I want to set up a different method. So I want to set up a different method. So you can just click that. Otherwise, go back. But yes, if you have selected some option that requires MFA to be created for the new account, then it is asking that. So go for different method, and wherever you can, try to. But if you have been playing with that, then go ahead and unplay that. Uncheck that option where it requires you to. Oh, Nargis, you got the same. So guys, what did I click and what did you click, and how come it's different for you, and just two of you, not for anyone else? So you can just close that and create a new account totally with the.
I tried to log on again, and I received the option that there is option telling skip for now 14 days till this is required.
Okay.
Click that one, huh?
Yes. So skip it. So Nargis, also sign out, sign in. Thank you, Mohammed, for sharing that. And Nargis, you can also sign out, sign in, and then skip this option of that MFA has to be there. Oh yeah, there was during login there's the option, and maybe I didn't have to skip that. I don't know. Okay guys, so those who are done with this, you can just actually take a break and come back. I really need to. So guys, let me just take a break, and I'm coming back as well. Can you please quickly show me the user config? Okay, Imani, and Imani and Jazz. So I'm showing that now. So how to create a user, right? Are you asking that? So first of all, Imani, go to and Jazz. So click that portal menu and then go for Azure Active Directory, this one. And once you're in portal menu and you click the Azure Active Directory, then you can go to users, this one. And then you click the new user, right? Once you click the new user, so yeah, that's it. So once you're creating a user, you can just give that name, your first name. Okay, your first name, GA. And guys, please mute your mic. Your first name and 26Aug2020. So just today's date, and GA is global admin. Then just put your name there, and your first name in the first name and last name in the last name, and just copy your show password. So click the show password and then copy that, password to a notepad, you must do that, or if you have very good memory. So just copy that in notepad, and then Imani and Jazz, you have to go for roles and click the roles user here. In the search, what you can do is you can just type global, right? And here it is global administrator that you have to select, and yeah, just go ahead and select that. Hopefully you're doing that. So global and global administrator. If I'm too fast, let me know. And once you've done that, then the only other thing you need to do other than the global administrator is this usage location, and that is Canada. So just select that Canada here. Okay, so this is it. So you define the username, and then you've copied that password, and then you have given the role global administrator, and then you've defined Canada. That's all. So Paul, are you doing that? If it's too fast, then wait for the video and repeat those steps. But if you have reached here, and then if you're asking to repeat again, then yeah, majority are done already. Actually, pretty much everyone is done. So, well, you can communicate where you want me to start, and I can repeat that again. Otherwise, please do watch the video and then repeat all the steps if it's too fast. So first try was very slow actually, and then second time I'm repeating. That's why I'm a bit fast, you know, because the break is for me as well. But okay, after that, when you create that, so just do communication and let me know. Okay, so here, once you're there, so just go to users, and well, I have to go for users and just your first name GA. Yes, it is break, guys. It is break. Break is finished at 8:20, so it's break time. I'm just repeating that for those who missed it. So break. Class starts 8:20, right? Break class starts 8:20. Okay, I'll just copy that so in the chat so I can move away from the screen. Okay, so here, once you're there, so just copy that name somewhere, right? So go click on that name and copy this in your notepad. Go click on this name and copy this in your notepad, and then you just have to log in from this account. So open incognito browser in Chrome or in private, and then type portal.azure.com, and then in username put the above very long punishing name here, right? So I'll just put that here, and the password what you saw there up, your temporary password, temp password that you copied already there, right? That was a 6-letter password. So I'm just gonna do that now, and you can follow. So here, go to incognito if you're using Chrome. Hopefully you're using Chrome, Jazz and Imani, and Paul. And then there's new incognito window here, this one, right? And then go for portal.azure.com, right? And well, it logs in for me directly, but you just have to put the username password, and then it will ask you to change the password. So when it asks you to change the password, just put this password here, right? Guys, I need to run for the break myself, so I'll well, what we were doing before the break was, if we go to the diagram and check our progress, so we created a new user account, we gave it global admin privileges, and then we logged in from that account and changed its password. We stored that username password here in Notepad, right? So and we understand that why this user account is used. It is going to authorize our AD Connect connectivity from our on-premises to cloud. So let's finally configure that Windows Active Directory and try to go through all those steps. So now we need to just configure the whole on-premises properly so we could initiate that synchronization process, right? So let us go back. Okay, so here we're just gonna go back to our VMware workstation now. If the account up there was good, then we can just go for Windows Server 2016. And then, well, let me just oops, guys, just a sec. So here, once in 2016, so what we can do is this. So the step number 1 is install VMware tools, then activate it for 180 days, and we will change our change out a network adapter, change our network adapter. So we're gonna do one by one. I'm gonna explain why we're doing what we're doing. So now what we need to do is let's go. First of all, actually, you know what? I put that VMware tools first, but let's just activate first, and then we can install Vmware tools because it needs a restart as well, right? So let's try to go for that. So what we need to do here is that I'll just quickly go to this. So first of all, is it 180 days already? You know, for majority of us, it should be already done. So if you're on this, just minimize this server manager. Minimize this server manager which is already started, right? And once you minimize the server manager, so do you see that 180 days written there on the bottom right corner? So do you see that 180 days written there in the bottom right corner? Okay, so there's Mustafa says no, viewer says no, and the rest are saying yes. So Mustafa and viewer. So can you right click on the desktop here and refresh? Go ahead and right click on the desktop here, refresh. If your internet, Mohammed says no, Mohammed Jafri says no. So if you refresh there, now it should appear here because it's been enough time. But guys, make sure that you have internet connection first of all. I'm gonna open this IE here just to check if I have internet connection or not. So I open that IE, ask me later, and then I'll click this, go to Microsoft site. In the future, do not show that. So I'll just uncheck this, continue to prompt when website content is blocked, and then click close here. If you see this, then you can uncheck this, continue to prompt, and click close just to go to the website. So yes, I have internet connection here, right? Because we put it on NAT. Oh, so Mustafa says I don't have internet connection. Mustafa, did you put that network card on NAT, or when you were creating that virtual machine, or not? So it has to be on NAT, then only you get internet connection, or if it is on bridge. So Mustafa, see this? Go right click on there, right click here on the top, and click this settings. Hopefully you're doing that. So right click here and go to settings. Okay, so it is NAT, and still you don't have internet connection. So do you see here in this network icon yellow triangle? Still this yellow triangle, this one. Oh, okay. So you don't have internet connection. So try to change it to. So right click here again and go to settings. And if you see that it is Okay, settings. So check this network adapter, and if it says NAT, are these two boxes both checked? So first of all, make sure it is NAT and Aussie. So then if the internet is still there, go for bridge like this and press OK. Yeah, so go for bridge and press OK, and the internet should come. Go for bridge. It is for those if the internet is not there. So internet has to be there for you to get activated for 180 days or 6 months, right? So once this is done, so let me know. Now I have internet. Okay, you got internet. Cool. So you just have to refresh, right click refresh, and now sometimes it appears right away, sometimes it, oh, okay, there you go. So that's good. So guys, we need to see that, because otherwise if it is expired after 10 days or 20 days, so then it will restart every half an hour. Network is there but not activated for 180 days. Viewer, so viewer, keep refreshing it. If refreshing does not work, internet has to be there, and then restart the whole machine and then log in, and majority of the time this message appears after restart if internet is there. So if the website is opening, then only try to restart or refresh. Sometimes it's stubborn, it just keeps on doing that for longer time. So guys, if this is done, let's go ahead. There are other steps and we have to finish the lab as well. So hopefully you're trying to really troubleshoot that and try to go ahead with the lab. If there's a very long problem and it's not happening, then yeah, after 10 o'clock I can try to help if it's not a very long troubleshooting. So guys, once it is done, I'm just going to go back to the steps here. So activate it. It is okay, so I'll just select it. And then now we can install Vmware tools and then restart. We can just try to go for it, install Vmware tools now. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and in this, how to install Vmware tools and what are Vmware tools. These tools really enable advanced options, enable all the advanced options in the virtual machine, and it makes the look and feel user friendly as well. So right click on top of that machine and click install Vmware tools, exactly as Chintan said. So right click on the virtual machine, and hopefully you're seeing that and following install Vmware tools. So once we click the Vmware tools here, and just once you click that, so pop-up will appear here or here, or I'm just going to deliberately miss this pop-up here for those if they missed it, and then go for yellow folder. So yellow folder here, and once you're in the yellow folder, you can click this PC, and I'm just taking you to the DVD-ROM here where the Vmware tools has been mapped already. So you should be seeing a gray big VM written there. If you see that, go ahead and double click that, right? Once you double click that, it's gonna start the installation process. This is very crucial, this is very important. You must have Vmware tools, and otherwise you won't be able to do some of the tasks that we need to do. So this is a must. So it's just blinking here down here, so hopefully you're seeing this, and click next. So keep it to typical, that's okay, and click next, and that's it, install. So it's all next install, that's it, right? Next install. So go ahead. So go ahead and try to just click next and install. So it's a simple one. If you reach the finish line, just click finish and restart. You have to restart for the next all configurations to happen, you just make sure that you restart this, right? So go ahead and click. So Feroz says, can we please change computer name as well before restart? Yes, that's a very, very good idea. Hope anyone restarted already? So because it will be 2 restarts, then for computer name also we need to restart while we're restarting. So if you haven't done that, then just keep it there and come down here to server manager, this one, server manager, and go to local server. What are we doing? Before restart, we can just change the name. So with one restart, it will just restart for the VMware tools as well as for the renaming as well. So that's a good suggestion. And I'm just going to go to the computer name. Hopefully everyone knows how to change the computer name of a Windows machine. So in the local server, in server manager, I'm going to go to the computer name here and click that computer name. Do not type anything here in computer description. Go to the change button here, and then your first name, VM01. So whatever name you want to give, or your first name VM01. Now, once you have put in that name, then press OK, and restart. So hopefully everyone is able to do that, and then go ahead and restart. So it will restart for VMware tools, and also it will restart for the new name. Or if you've already restarted for VMware tools, then come back here, just change the name like this and restart again. I'm going to press OK here, and OK, and close, and restart now. Okay, so once it is restarted, now it has restarted for both VMware tools and also the rename. That's very good. Now I'm just gonna log back in here with the 3 Control Alt Deletes there. So Control Alt Delete here and add administrator. So the password is small abc, capital ABC, shift 1 2 3. See this? The administrator, local administrator password is small abc, capital ABC, exclamation, add and pound sign, and 1 2 3. So hopefully everyone remembers that, and log in. Okay, once we restart, so you can change it to bridge, and I can show you how to change. Right click, Jazz, you can just right click and go to settings. If you're seeing this, you can follow this. Right click and restart settings, and then go to network adapter and just change it from NAT to bridge. Change from NAT to bridge and press OK and try again, right? Otherwise, I wrote there, well, team viewer. Okay, so guys, the thing is that yeah, I can be okay. So guys, here install Vmware tools is done. I'm just gonna green that too, as well as again when you right click again as well, then you will not find Vmware tools. Yes, exactly. Okay. So what is the proof that VMware tools are installed? If you right click again, so it says reinstall, right? So reinstall means that it is already installed, but you must have to restart, right? Okay. So I'll just right click and mute all. And so guys, I'm just gonna go for the next one, and that is we will change our network adapter to VMware 15. So guys, this is the next step. We will change our network adapter to VMnet 15, right? And yes, if it is on bridge, try to check that top checkbox. See this, Jazz? On the top, you have a connected checkbox there. So guys, I'm just looking at a screenshot on the other screen for a student, and I'm just telling the student. So just click that checkbox, connected, and then press OK down here. Then it will show you internet. The top checkbox, it is unchecked. Alright guys, so here I'm just gonna go for this VMnet 15. So why are we changing our network adapter from NAT or bridge back to VMnet 15? Why? Because we need to give our own local static IP here to the first NIC. And why is that first NIC? We need to give our own local static IP here to the first NIC because second NIC will be permanently on internet, right? So the second NIC, we will keep it on NAT or we will keep it on bridge just to get internet connection, but the first one has to be on our local IP configuration. And what's the IP configuration we're going to give? So IP address will be, let me just even put that further. Okay. So IP configuration will be IP address we're about to give is 192.168.200.1. And the subnet mask will be 255. So subnet mask SM will be 255.255.255.0, and the gateway we don't have to give any, or we can give a fake gateway which can be, well, actually, just don't give any gateway. We don't need that because our data, we don't need another gateway here. Our data is already going out from our DSL router. So here we don't have a specific gateway. If we go for DSL router IP as a gateway, so you can just put that, you can just take that IP from DSL directly as well if you want for the second one. But here for local IP, don't give any gateway. And then there is PD, which is NYPD. No, it's preferred DNS, and that is also 192.168.200.1. Why are we putting that? Because our Active Directory and DNS require a local DNS, its own DNS to communicate with. So for Active Directory and DNS, for on-premises, we need to give them their own range of IP and prefer DNS. And second network card can grab an IP from DSL, which will help us connect this same machine permanently to internet as well. So this is just for our production environment, local environment, we're doing that. Otherwise in production, you get a gateway and you get the same IP range as the gateway, and gateway is responsible for getting your data out of your company to the internet and getting in data from your internet to your company. So okay, so
can I add DNS 888 as secondary for the people who want to access outside, or just leave it?
Well, if you put it, the main thing is that we're putting that VMnet 15 here. We're not keeping it on NAT, right? So what will happen is that if it is not on NAT, it will just stick to local. So putting 888 will not be of any difference. But if you want to put it on NAT or bridge, and then you want to experiment that if 888 actually connects you to the internet as well as the local IP, it accepts the local IP, then you can go ahead and try this at least. I haven't tried that before. So first NIC, I'm totally putting on private network. VMnet 15, this VMnet will never let you reach the internet. So that's why second NIC is dedicated in our particular specific environment here. Okay, so let's go ahead, guys, and what we're doing is we do not need internet connection for our first NIC. First NIC is dedicated for our LAN traffic, local traffic. It is dedicated for our Active Directory and DNS communication, right? So what we need to do is we need to remove the first network interface card from internet first. How do we do that? So we're going to go up to the Windows Server 2016 and go to the settings here, right? We go to the settings here, and then network adapter. I don't want my first network card to be connected to the internet. Otherwise, Active Directory normally then gives us error. And then, so I just want it to be smooth. So I'm going to go to the custom here for the first network card, and then drop down. You can choose anyone other than NAT and host only. Host only is also okay, other than NAT, anyone. So I'm just going to go for Vmware 15 for no particular reason. You can go for 16, 14, 13. They all do the same thing, right? So I'm going for Vmware 15 here. And if I click anywhere else here, now it is changed to, so this is totally local communication. Now it's never going to go to internet if only this is selected. So once this is selected, I'm just going to press OK just in order to configure it now, right? I'm going to press OK to configure this now for Active Directory and DNS. So they will not give me any errors and they will work smooth, right? So once this is changed, I need to just simply put the static IP there. So there is an error, the network data bridge on device is not running. Ouch. Yes, so Tariq Wali asks that, is this ADDC going to be a DNS server too? Yes, it's going to be the DNS plus Active Directory both now. Yeah. Okay, guys. So Jazz, you can try to go back to NAT and oh, well, you did restart already. So keep it to bridge and press OK and just restart first and then try to come back again. Otherwise, better restart the whole laptop if possible. If not, then after the class I can help you finish the lab. Okay, guys. So here, what we need to do is, so first of all, we just remove the internet from here. Now I'm just gonna go for the static IP, private static IP I need to give here. So I'm gonna go to local server here, local server in server manager, and then I'm gonna go to Ethernet 0, local server, server manager, and Ethernet 0. Why? Because I need to give us private static IP. So once I go to Ethernet 0, hopefully everyone knows that how to put a static IP there in a Windows network card. So I'm just going to double click that, Ethernet 0, and properties. So out of bad habit, I always uncheck IPv6, but if you don't uncheck IPv6, it's okay. It's going to still work. I'm just unchecking that and going to IP version 4. So I'll double click that IP version 4, and it is already on obtain an IP address automatically. I'm going to put it to use the following IP address. Hopefully everyone knows how to reach here, and I'm going to put 192, oops, numlock, 192.168.200.1, tab. Once you press tab on the keyboard, it just automatically fills in the 255.252.250. Then tab again. I'm not putting any gateway. We don't need that here. Then I'm going to put tab 2 times, tab. Then I'll use the following DNS. You can do that from click as well. So 192.168.200.1. So the same IP we put there for DNS because we intend to install DNS here on this machine, right? So hopefully everyone has, so I'm gonna go for wrong English now. Hopefully everyone has put in this IP, put in this IP here. So if you have done that, just make sure that it's not 193 and this is not 169. So hopefully you're paying attention. Otherwise, this whole lab will not work for you. And make sure that it's all capital case, not lowercase, right? So 192.168.200, it has to be caps, capital. It's case sensitive. It cannot be small case, right? So Okay, sorry. So yeah, so if it's all caps as well, and let's press OK. So, and press OK, and close, and close. All right, woohoo, yay! So now we're gonna go ahead and check it out. That yes, we have removed the internet from our NIC. Okay, and we have placed our. I think you have special keyboard for number in caps. Yes. So I was actually trying to add that function to my, so capital letter numbers, capital numbers and small numbers. So guys, we have done this, right? And now we're gonna go for second. We're gonna add the second NIC. I'm gonna keep it on NAT. So keep it on NAT. So there's our internet as well, because obviously we need to sync everything from here to Azure. We need a NAT as well. We need an internet connection as well. So we will put our static IP, rename, restart. Oh, okay, so this is actually, these all are done. So I'll just remove that, and also I should put it up there. I will install, workaround, install. After that, okay.
Just one more time. We could keep it on bridge, right? So why we are going for NAT and then we are NAT 15?
Oh yeah. So if I go to the diagram here, and for the server that we have right now, we have two network cards here. One network card for now. So if I go for that server and select that samosa shape here, and that is one network card, NIC number one, and then we added second NIC as well. So what's the reason for that? Reason is that this server is about to have Active Directory and DNS. So these Active Directory, when you install, so it asks that, hey, your network card actually does not have a static IP. So it gives that error. Just to avoid seeing that error, we put our local private IP here, 200.1 and everything. But because we need to synchronize all the changes to Azure cloud on the internet, so that's why we put the second one. Now, why did we keep that first network card connected to NAT? Because Active Directory will not like that. We need a stable Active Directory and DNS environment to really keep everything going, right? Otherwise, connecting the first one to NAT will not really work for our lab. And Active Directory will not like that. If it doesn't like that, maybe it will give us error for synchronization as well later.
So if we keep as a bridge, like it's not gonna solve our purpose.
Okay, so if you keep that NIC on bridge, so first thing is, yes, because it is on bridge, it will be just accessible from your home network, from any other room, which is okay in your case, in our case actually. And second thing, you have put a static IP here, so yes, it's never gonna give you internet now. So it is okay if you put it on bridge, because there's no purpose, or it's not doing what it's supposed to do because you put a static IP there. Putting it on bridge doesn't matter anymore. You can just put it with any other protocol as well, and it's gonna work the same way because you put a static IP, so it doesn't matter. For this, yes, it will grab an IP automatically from DSL router. Well, from Vmware workstation. So yes, if you keep it on bridge, it doesn't really matter because you gave a static IP here.
Okay, thanks.
And here there are comments there. So Tariq says, please mute the WhatsApp sound. It's a bit. Oh yeah, sure. So I will go for that. Yeah,
So it means if I have my NIC on bridge, so I don't need to I don't need
change
two
it to Vmware 15.
NICs. I just have to put in bridge and give a static IP. That's it.
This is, I gave Vmware 15 here, right? So just to make sure that it is a private communication and my traffic does not leave this virtual machine outside of this virtual machine, right? So if you keep it on bridge but give static IP in our home environment, yes, it's okay. It doesn't really matter. It's gonna work fine. But in production environment, we actually remove the bridge. So outside, in the physical network, nobody tries to access our machine from there. So it's a kind of a security related issue here as well. In production environment, don't put it on bridge, but here, yes, it's okay. So I just changed it to Vmware 15. If you didn't do that and you kept on bridge, it's okay. Okay. Now there's I need to listen to everyone's comments. That's why the sound is full. But then the WhatsApp comes in, and then I have to lower the sound. But if I want to hear anyone's comment on audio, so I have to make it full. So yes, I just need to go ahead there. Okay. Yeah. So at 10, I can connect Jazz to your machine, and I can try to fix that. Right. So just. Okay, so oh yeah, so yeah, that's kind of a bit longer troubleshooting. So at 10, I will try to fix it. Right. So try to understand what's going on right now. Some other students are also having issues, and they are just trying to understand now. So okay, guys, and is this so? Chintan says reason that we don't have static IP address for public IP. We have a static in public, then we don't require private IP and not required second NIC. Well, Chintan, so if you're talking about the public IP to be placed in this machine, so in production environment we don't do that because this machine is for our local environment for our LAN, right? So whenever you give public IP, so it will give you internet, but it will expose your machine over the internet to anyone else as well, unless it's a web server and it is in in that. In that what? Hey, what is that called? Military zone? Seriously? No fly zone? I forgot that. DMZ, yes, seriously? Okay, so important names, demilitarized zone. And if you just put that there, then you give a server a public IP as well, because there's a firewall in between. There's an outside firewall protecting from outside attack, and there's an inside firewall also. There you give public IP, yes. Public IP or PIP, right? So otherwise here, no way. We're not giving. We're gonna give private IP, and in production now what happens? You have a proxy server, right? That proxy server is the internet coming from Rogers goes to that proxy server application, and through that application it is given to us. So first of all, the internet could be fast, and second thing, you can control the traffic as well. You can block Facebook and everything. So when we need to have IP, or we need to have internet on this machine, in the gateway, either we put the router's IP address or we put the proxy server's IP address to get, or there's a script there that gpad or wpad that you put there, and you get internet from proxy server. So there are many ways to do that, but public IP, no, we don't put that there to just give internet connection. Okay, unless we have a firewall or router, exactly. So Chinda says that. So Mohammed says yes, and then okay, thank you. And Mohammed says, when sync occur, which interface server will use to transfer user? In our case, it will use whichever interface is giving us a internet connection. It will use that automatically. But in production environment, you can just use that same interface because it will. This same interface will also give you internet, right? This same interface will also give you internet connection there.
Just for interruption, but because when you create a user and you use the 192.168.201, so this is the IP address of the Active Directory, and in the VM15. So when you create NAT, this will be separate network, right? So how can they communicate each other between the 192 and between the NAT?
Yes, so normally there's a very good thing in Windows. If you put two network network cards, and suppose you actually put this as 192 address, and you actually put that as 10 range, 10x, right? So there's a automatic, if it sees two network cards and if it sees two different range, automatic routing is enabled in a Windows machine. You don't have to really give some commands to tell these two network cards that, hey, you need to communicate with each other. So this is a specialty in Windows servers and operating systems, that if it's a different IP range, it's going to communicate. You don't have to give a separate command or a manual configuration of any type to tell each other that, hey, this is a separate IP and this is a separate IP. I have given this 192.168.200, while my NAT will actually have a totally different IP now, with even different IP range. It will not be 200, it will be 2 dot something, 40 or 2 dot something. 192.168 2 dot something. So it's totally different subnet, but because of automatic routing is enabled, it's going to communicate. This is automatic. We don't have to do anything. Okay, so here, guys. Cool. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and try to move to our lab where we need to go for next steps. So what are the next steps here? So we restarted, we did all this already. So I'm just gonna make this all green as well. Now we will just add a second NIC and connect it to NAT, right? So this is simple. Then we're gonna go for the rest of the options there, and let us go here. So we need to just add a second NIC that will connect us to internet. So how do we do that? Right click here and go to settings, and then click the add button. Right click there, go to settings, and then click the add button. And then click the network adapter. So once you click the network adapter here, either you will see the NAT already configured here, or if it's not, let's click finish, and you will see the NAT here in the second. So now the second network adapter will give us internet connection for this particular environment of ours, right? So go ahead and press OK. That's all. That's very simple, right? So you don't have to put anything yourself. It just grabs that IP from the DHCP of the Vmware workstation. All right. Shall we turn off the firewall before taking the snapshot? Yes, Saki, that's a very good idea. So we're gonna take a snapshot of, but before installing the Active Directory and DNS, now we're gonna take a snapshot here. But yes, that's a good idea to turn off the. So let's turn off the firewall where it is. In fact, there are other things that we need to do before we take the snapshot. So first thing is that we're going to, okay, for internet connection we will add a second NIC. Okay, this is done already. Turn off firewall and change the power settings. We'll have to do these two things before we go for snapshot. So what are those two things and why they are important? So first is turn off firewall profiles. So let's go ahead and here. So guys, the thing is that why we're turning off firewall, some companies have that policies. I was in Scotiabank, so there the policy was that we had 2200 servers, and the policy was to turn off the operating system level firewall. But we had end-to-end McAfee security there. We had IPS, intrusion prevention software, and IDS, intrusion detection systems. And then there are many other security software, and security hardening was done for the servers that they were. So all kinds of security was there, but the firewall of Windows operating system was off, right? Why? Because sometimes, when you're troubleshooting, so this firewall, suppose you add a traffic there, suppose you DNS is not going out. So sometimes it happens that you have added the exception that port 53 DNS traffic will go through that, and sometimes it is blocked for no reason. So when you turn off the firewall, or you remove the exception and then add that again, and it's doing, or if you want to troubleshoot anything else, you have to turn off the firewall at that time as well. So that's why, just to avoid any surprises, we're just going to turn off the firewall just for this particular tab. I'm just going to go to the Windows firewall here, and there's a public on, private on written there. So it is in local server, in server manager, local server, and the firewall. So I'm going to click that and go to turn Windows firewall on or off, and turn off Windows firewall, turn off Windows firewall, and press OK. Okay, so if you got the two profiles turned off, so then we can just close this. There is one more setting that we need to do. And yes, in the interview, if somebody asks about the firewall, so don't say that my teacher told me to turn off the firewall, so I will turn off all your firewalls. Thank you. So don't say that in the interview. And this is just for the lab. We're doing that. And they will also say, hey, next candidate please. So just refresh this and you will see this, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. More like press mute. Not okay. Okay. Well, there are Jazz. There are few other students who are also behind. They're just trying to understand now, and I can help you guys later. Oh, okay. I'll just put this voice a bit down.
Why did we turn off the firewall?
Okay. Again, you Asman, what?
Why did we turn off the firewall?
Oh, hey, I just explained it. Where were you in last 5 minutes? So, okay. Now I'll just repeat that again. So we turned off the firewall. No problem. But yeah, by mistake, Usman, your audio was on, your mic was on at the start of the class, and there was some TV show running in the background. So hopefully you're not still watching that. But I know you're very sharp and smart. So, yeah, since I'm recording all that, so yeah, I can show you what movie it was. Okay, anyway. So here, yes, why did we turn off firewall? Because we turned it off. Hey, that was a long explanation, seriously. Okay, so in production environment, normally firewalls in some companies they are turned off. In other companies, actually, they are turned on. So why we turn off here? In order to avoid surprises. So CP24, yeah, maybe that. No, hockey match. I mean, I think once Usman said, "I love hockey matches." No, he never said that. I'm just coming. Okay, so Mohammed Jaffrey says, should we also turn off domain firewall after installing the Active Directory? Yes, Mohammed Jaffrey, that's where we're going. So we're gonna turn that too. Oh, now he says it. See, cricket match. Got it. Oh, yeah. What's the score anyway? Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead, guys, and we have this, powered on now, and okay, let's go ahead and try to go for the next. Now, next point here is I'm just gonna turn off the. I'm just gonna turn off the firewall, seriously. So change the power options to not lock us out. Now, what is this option? Suppose you're configuring Azure and you took more than 10 minutes. So what happens is it's going to lock out, and you have to, when you come back, you have to just put your username password. That is also used to be called screensaver, right? So we need to remove that. We need to keep it open for just this lab. In production environment, you should enable that screensaver, or if it is idle for 10 minutes, or 5 minutes, it should lock out, and then you have to put the username password again, right? So let's remove that right now here. I'm going to right click here. I'm going to right click here at the bottom, and I'm going to go way up to power options, right? I'm going to go way up to power options. So here in the power options, it is asking balanced or high performance. So if you are working on your laptop just on batteries, go for balanced. But if you are connected with the power cable to your laptop, then if it's a laptop, so high performance is better. And then click change plan settings. High performance and change plan settings. And here is 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes of idle time, it's gonna just turn off, or and then you have to log in again, lock out. So let's slightly change it to never. So it's now changed to never, and then click save changes. Right? Okay, let's click save changes. Now if that is done, so why hopefully my audio is on, and another option, if you RDP into that machine, it won't. Yes, Vakas says that RDP is by default disabled, although we will not be RDPing. There will be no second machine in this course because all those will be there. But yes, if you want to enable RDP as well, then you can enable that. Normally, it's a good thing that it is disabled because of security reasons. But yes, if we need to do it in the lab, but that's a good reminder. You're right. So when we need that, yes, at that time we will just enable that, although for this course we don't need that. So change the power options is done as well, guys. And now let's go for the snapshot. Okay, so now we're going to take that snapshot. So what is snapshot? Snapshot just saves all your configuration. Suppose later we mess up the machine, we do so much tasks there that we mess up. Oh, so guys, one more thing here. Do you see on local server this? IE enhanced security? IE enhanced Internet Explorer, because right now we're stuck with this guy, and they're gonna be actually stopping this now. So we need to turn on IE Enhanced Security as well. So let's click that IE Enhanced Security. We're going to click on, and yeah, so once you click that, off. Although it's just for administrators that you need to turn it off, but you can turn it off for users as well. So turn off. Once it's okay. Now, why are we turning it off? In production environment, don't do this. But in here, when we open Internet Explorer to connect to Azure, it's going to give you a lot of prompts and it won't let you connect easily. So we're turning extra security off. We don't need that security for now. We just need to understand the whole process right now, right? So, okay, if IE Enhanced Security is turned off, so when you're repeating that lab at home, so you need to do that here. So turn off IE Enhanced Security, right? And then and fresh. So refresh here, right? So now it is also off. So I'm just gonna go back to this. Now it's time to take a snapshot. So this is a lot of effort that we did, or a lot of configurations that we need to come back to. Suppose we messed up our machine to such a level that we cannot even troubleshoot to fix it. So then we can go back to this configuration that we have done. At least when we come back, we don't have to do all those steps that we just did now, right? So that's why snapshot is really time saver for us. I'm just going to right click on top of that machine now, and hopefully everyone is seeing this snapshot option here, this one, and there's an option called take snapshot. So let's click that, take snapshot. So there's that take snapshot, and it's always a good idea to fill up all the information that you need, because normally in the production environment you create multiple snapshots, right? Many snapshots. So if you want to go back to a particular snapshot, if there is no description there that what was configured in this snapshot, then you're totally blind going to that snapshot without knowing that what is configured and what I don't have to configure and what I do have to configure if I go back to that particular snapshot. We will just have one snapshot here, but we can just type here that it's activated, and static IP given NAT on second NIC, right? You don't have to really, all the important things that you've done you can just and renamed. So when you see this, you will understand that, oh, okay, if I go back to the snapshot, so I don't have to do these things, right? So this is one that snapshot. You can just type the information of all the configurations you've done, so you don't have to do those again, because you will read it here instead of discovering, oh, what is done, what is not done here, right? Okay, so firewall off. Okay, there's a firewall off. Okay, there you go. So take snapshot when machine is shut down. So Mohammed Jafri, yes, it's up to you. You can take a snapshot when machine is shut down, or you can take a snapshot when the machine is powered on. If you prefer to do it when the machine is shut down, yes, you can do that. But it's okay to do it when the machine is powered on as well. Okay, so if you have written all that, then let's click that. Oh, okay. So I knew that there will be more suggestions coming there. So let me just add that IE off as well. Let's just type that too. Before any other suggestion comes, let's just quickly go for take snapshot. So, but yes, your suggestions were very important, and thank you for that. So never. Oh, that never in the IE. Oh, that never. Let's go ahead. So if you have put that, let's click that take snapshot. So once the snapshot has been taken, now we're good. At least this much we don't have to do again if we come back to the snapshot, or if something messed up so much. It will save a lot of our time. So if that is done now, so I'm just gonna go for this as well. So it's green. And now since we're logged into the administrator, now let's install Active Directory and DNS, and then create the 390 users, and then synchronize. Yay! Or yay. Okay, so let's go to where we are already. Okay, let's go nowhere. So here in Server Manager, let's click that dashboard, right? Oh, okay. So Chintan says the snapshot taking is not finished because it shows here. See this? Saving state is 18%. So Chintan, it's okay. What snapshot configuration it has to save, it's going to take a long time for that. And we don't have to wait for that. We can still do all other configurations. It's not going to disrupt the saving snapshot process. It's not going to disrupt any of those. Okay, so let us now try to go for the installation of Active Directory, right? So let's click the dashboard in the server manager and go for add roles and features, right? So let's click that add roles and features. And once you're there, let's click next. Role based or feature based, yes. No change here. Next. IP is showing 192.168. It's okay. If it shows you some other weird IP, it's also okay. It's the IP of your second network card. Next. Now, that error will come still that, hey, you have an IP, automatic IP given from DHCP. Are you sure? So we're going to say sure because we know that there's a static IP also given. So guys, here, we'll just select this dude here, Active Directory Domain Services, and select that Active Directory Domain Services. And click add features, this one, right? The pop-up comes and you just go ahead and click add features. So we don't have to select DNS here because why? Active Directory, when we install, it will install, not only that it will install the DNS for us, it's gonna configure the forward lookup zone of the DNS for us during the Active Directory installation. So you don't have to separately select a DNS here. So once it is selected, let's click next. And nothing in the features. So let's click next. So that's the introduction, and that's exactly what we're about to do now. In fact, they're saying that you can connect to Azure Active Directory. So that's exactly what we're about to do now with the Azure Active Directory Connect, this one, right? So let's click next. And yes, so click that restart the destination server automatically if required and press yes. Why? Because if there's any pending restart, it will restart. Otherwise, if there's a pending restart and you don't restart, so any future configuration it won't let you do. It will ask then in the middle of the configuration, hey, go ahead and restart. There's a pending restart there. So that's really frustrating. So click install. Hey, you didn't tell me the score. Oh, okay. So yeah. Oh, God, it's already done. Well, so Kavita, if it's asking for a restart, then restart. Otherwise, don't restart. And it's not going to ask for a restart, so do not restart. So when we click this option, it means that it will decide that does it have to restart or does it not have to restart, right? Okay, cool. Okay guys, so well, it is the basic files of Active Directory are installed. Now we're gonna start the installation configuration of Active Directory, right? These are just the binary files of the Active Directory, right? So if you're on this screen and it is done, there is this button, promote this server to a domain controller. But if you have clicked the close button, then there is that yellow triangle here that also shows the same thing, promote this server to a domain controller. Either you click this or you click this, it's the same thing, right? So if we have all reached there, then click any of, well, I'll just click this, or okay, I'll just click this, promote this server to a domain controller, yay, or yay. Okay, so here what we're going to do is we're going to create a new domain in a new forest. So let's go for this first option and go, just kidding, okay, let's go for add a new forest here, the third option. And then you can just go for your first name domain dot local, your first name domain dot local, right? Your first name domain dot local. All right or all wrong. So once we are there, just click next, add a new forest, and just put your domain name. It's a local domain name. technically you can put here .com.c as well, but better put, if it's a local environment, local network, then just put .local. Majority of the administrators do that. Okay, so there you go. It says here domain DNS will be installed, so keep it checked. We don't have any other DNS, so we're going to keep it checked. And global catalog will be installed. So just put that directory services restore mode password. DSRM is the restore mode, just like safe mode there in Windows. So none of the drivers are loaded there, and you can troubleshoot the Active Directory if you want. So I'm going to go for the class password, small abc, capital ABC, shift123 without shift123, and then small abc, capital ABC, shift123 without shift123. All right, and click next. So no change on this page other than putting the password. Let's click next here. So this page here says that yellow sign there, warning sign is showing there. We can ignore this safely because it's looking for our DNS zone. We are in the process of installing DNS, so that's why we're gonna click next and ignore this. This page actually shows a single name of the Active Directory. So this is just for those applications, legacy applications, older applications where they want to connect, they can only connect, they are programmed to connect to Active Directory with a single name. So that single name appears here for those applications that does not accept something dot something dot something dot something, and they accept only the single name. Yes, wins. Okay, or NetBIOS domain name. So let's click next. No change on this page. Once, whenever it shows up, click next. Come on. Wow, this is like, wow, time is rolling back to winter time. Okay guys, so this is just the local path of the Active Directory, and let's click no change on this page and click next. Right? So this is a summary of the Active Directory, and click next. So verifying prerequisites. So it's going to install the DNS with it, so that's good for us. So when it restarts, then we're ready to continue with the synchronization steps. Have you checked the DNS delegation? Osman says yes. I mean, the DNS was checked already there, but DNS delegation. Hey, what was that option? Which option was that? Okay, there you go. No. Okay, let's go ahead, guys, and yeah, the DNS delegation. There was no option there. I mean, you cannot actually check it, right? So if you click, it's grayed out. So okay, guys, here. So here you can see that there are two warnings. First warning says that if you have a very old Windows NT 4.0, first of all, then happy birthday, your 75th birthday. This means this year is your 75th birthday. You're 75-year-old if you have Windows NT 4, right? And second thing, if your company has Windows NT 4, it's so old that your company does not deserve to be in the field of IT. That's the second thing. But it says here that if you have this, then the communication of 2016 will be not secure with that very old Windows NT 4. Second thing is saying that it should have at least one physical network adapter with a static IP. Yes, we do have that, but Active Directory still shows up this warning that no, actually it's detecting that other IP which is connected to NAT, so we can ignore that too. And if we go for the third one, that is saying that I could not find a DNS delegation there. So yes, it is. We are in the process of installing DNS. That's why we can ignore this option as well. So we're all good. I worked on NT4 and like it. Oh wow! You know, I installed NT4 as well. Yeah. So we both are happy birthday this year. 75 years. Man, me and Muhammad Awad are both 75. So I'll be 75. You'll be 76. That will be good, right? So okay, let's click install. Oh yeah, we should do that. Okay, so so well, now it's gonna install that. You know, this happened just 3 days ago. Is that fast forward of a recording, or you actually talk that fast? Oh, done. So this is fast, right, Fazil? So what I'm saying, and it is understandable as well. So this is slow. No, wherever there's a complicated concept, then I slow down. And please slow me down wherever you want to understand again, or please ask me to repeat that, right? Okay, so yeah, I was telling about something that I had a mask on my face, and I went to a drugstore there, not that drugstore which got legal 2 years ago, not that one. So Shoppers Drug Mart, right? So that lady was selling something for the seniors. So I had a mask on my face, and my hair are actually white. I don't color them. So she thought I was senior. So she was saying that as a senior, do you want have a promotion for that product? And I told her, hey, you think I'm a senior? Are you kidding me? So then I removed my mask and I showed, hey, I'm just okay. I have to tell my birth date now. Oh no, years now, age now. So I'm just 42. Come on. So she said, oh, I'm sorry, sorry, sorry. I have white hair and I have white beard as well. It was white when I was 20. So that's something genetic, I guess. So, but she called me senior, and I was so offended, and I was just making fun of her. This is like okay. So anyway, hey, I'm not 43. I'm 42. So actually, yes, I'm 40. I guess I'm 43. Yeah. Oh, I would have gotten medicine free, Chindan. Seriously. Next time I will go to the Shopper Drug Mart. Do you have any deal for me? And maybe she will give me some free medicine. Oh, wow. That's good. Oh, why didn't I think of that before? And I have a mask and I have white hair. I look like a senior, actually. Cool. Okay. Senior above 65. Oh, okay. Mustafa just turned 21. Oh, we got kids in the... Hey, how many are unmarried in this class? I'm so amazed now, and this is a married club course only. I mean, if you're married, then you can only come here, right? If you're unmarried, you're not allowed actually. So and so you're saying that ask Mustafa to send his picture. So he looks old, but he's actually 21. That's what you're saying. Wow. Okay. Nice, man. Khalid is 28. Okay. Okay, so we're sharing our ages now, and you really want to embarrass me now, right? So you guys, so you're all young and I'm old, right? So you just want to make that a little big point here. Ugh. Okay, so finally the Active Directory is going out. Okay, so guys, here, yeah, I bet if any of the ladies here want to tell the age, I will salute. Because always men say the age, ladies never say the age, right? So it's a big challenge. And correct age, right? Okay, just kidding. So there you go. No way. So Monopoly. Okay. Father just turned 19. Are you really kidding me? So I'm so feeling now. Like left out now. Okay. So there's youngsters, teens here actually. Hey, anyone teen here? So okay, it's still applying. Seriously. So guys, so while we are turning some age here, actually while this is starting to load here, right? So how about we do one more task that can be done while we're still waiting for it, and that is that we can download the Azure AD Connect application. Actually, it's just a file there. So download it in your laptop or desktop. We can just download this Azure AD Connect file. So I'm gonna send you the link here. Oh, Wakaza already done that too. Serious? Wow, man, that's good. So we're thinking he's already done that. So telepathy or something. He's just grabbing everything from my mind, and so he's already done. That's pretty good. So guys, here I'm just gonna go to the web here, and I'll just put that Google here, and I'll go for download Microsoft So download Microsoft Azure AD Connect, right? So we can just put that information there. Download Microsoft Azure AD Connect. So I'm just going to click that, and whatever is the first link, I'm just going to share with you as well. Download Microsoft Azure Active Directory Connect. This is the link. I'll just copy this link here as well in this. So please go ahead and download from this link, which is on WebEx now, and also in Cloud 4-in-1 class, I'm just sharing that link here. So go ahead and download that. Okay, so now we need to go here and so here you can see this page, right? Azure AD Active Directory Connect. So just click the download. It's a very small file. The main objective is when the Active Directory is installed and you are logged into the Active Directory, you need to copy this file from your laptop or desktop to inside that machine, virtual machine, in the downloads folder or wherever you want, on the desktop, wherever you want to copy that. Just copy inside the virtual machine. I'm going to download this file now and select downloads, Azure AD Connect.msi, press yes, and you just need to copy it inside the virtual machine. Now in production environment, what you can do is you can just put it in any machine that is in the network, and from there you can ping the domain controller. If you can successfully ping, you can just put it on any machine in the network. It doesn't have to be on the domain controller itself. We just have one machine, that's why we're doing that. So I'm gonna just it's already there, so you can see your domain name now and / administrator account. So we're gonna just go for a small ABC shift 123, and without shift 123 I'm just gonna log in from my domain controller. And I need to copy paste this file that I downloaded into the domain controller. I'm going to open the yellow folder inside the domain controller here. I'm going to go to the downloads folder inside the virtual machine. I'm going to right click and oh, there you go. The paste is grayed out. So I'm just gonna, okay, so yeah, my youngest son is actually telling me that his elder brother is playing more than him, so he needs to play as well. Okay, guys.
Drag drop it. It worked.
You were saying?
Yeah, drag and drop it.
Yeah, drag and drop it.
Oh, okay. I think you're talking to someone else.
I think if we didn't install the tools, we can't do that, right? We can't copy and
if we did not install the
drag
Vmware
and drop.
tools, then copy paste will not
Yeah.
work. So guys, Vmware tools are very crucial. If you haven't installed Vmware tools, then restart it. Some install Vmware tools, but they don't restart. So you have to install Vmware tools and restart as well. Then you can only copy paste, right? How do you move in prod environment? So you can also enable that option from. So in production environment, Kavita, normally we have ESXi hypervisor, VMware. So we don't have that VMware workstation, right? VMware workstation is just for training environment. For production, it's ESXi, and normally we just copy over the network / and the network path there, IP or the name of the server / shared folder name. That is called UNC path. So there you don't need to copy paste and drag and drop like that. Guys, once you have copy pasted, drag and drop should work. Also, we do not install this on DC. Yes, in production environment we don't. Here we can do that. Technically, you can install it anywhere in production environment. Yes, better copy and install it on another machine in the network. Okay. So guys, this is already downloaded. So where are we in terms of the diagram? So we have Azure AD Connect inside Active Directory, right? Once we start the wizard, remember that hopefully your notepad is still open, and remember this username. I hope you remember what was the purpose of that. Anyone can tell me what is this username for? Anyone can tell me what is this username for that I'm showing you here?
For the full access, like we gave him global access, so to that we can like deploy the users. Like we need someone to authorize it. So this is a user to authorize.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. And yes, this is the username now. Hopefully everyone has that, and you're gonna see this. Go ahead and copy this punishingly long username and just copy it and keep it in your clipboard, because now we're gonna use that. So yes, in this domain controller we're about to start the installation of Azure AD Connect. Then once the installation is going on, we're going to give that username password, and then we're going to click next, and it's going to start synchronizing all the users to Azure Active Directory. So let's understand this process now. So I'm inside my domain controller. Let's double click this Azure AD Connect, right? Exactly as everyone said, to synchronize. It's a global admin.
Excuse me, we didn't add the users yet, right?
Okay, so so yes, I hope nobody got scared of my scream here. Hey, where are the users? Really? Okay, so what I'm just gonna do is, sorry about that, guys. I totally forgot that. Hey, wasn't it written in the list? Serious? That was the next one. So thank you for reminding me. Sorry about that. I totally forgot that. So let us create those 390 users now, guys. That's gonna take a long time. You know what? Can we create 5 users here quickly? Then later I'm gonna show you 390 users in next class, and I'll show you how to create them. Because if we started creating them, we won't be able to do synchronization today, right? 9:36, very less time remaining. So how about we go to Azure Active Directory and just confirm that synchronization works, right? You have the PowerShell script. Okay, so there you go. So since we really want the 390 users and not 5 users, so that's also good. Yeah, I have the script. So I'll just send you. And let's go through that whole process. Okay, so yeah, that was just an indication of it's a long one. Okay, hopefully it's not a long one, because all you guys are really sharp and technical, so I salute you for that. So let me just grab that for you now. DR. Okay, and go, move it. Come on. So you need to, the main point here is you need to download the 2 files, and then you need to copy those 2 files inside the machine, and then from PowerShell we're going to run that script that I'm going to show you, right? So software and 390 user script. So download these 2 files and copy them both inside. In the C drive we will create a folder called scripts. You must create a folder in C drive in the virtual machine called scripts, and then simply download there. So see this is the link. Go ahead, download the 2 files. One is the PS1 file, which is, oh sorry, it's on the wrong WhatsApp. I'll just put it. So go ahead and grab those 2 files. Which 2 files am I talking about? Let me show you. So in 390 users, I'm just going to go inside, and the first file and the second file, they look like this, which is nothing. Are you kidding me? Oh, seriously. You know what happened? When I share, so I think it's editing rights. Somebody actually edited. Serious. Let me just go through. Let me upload that and then download. I'm uploading it. You got the link already, right? So I'll just simply upload those two files again. So create lab users and lab users.csv. So create lab users and lab users.csv. Okay, do you see those two files now? Because it's uploaded. Refresh your page and you should be seeing those two files now. Refresh your page and you should be seeing those two files now. Okay, so grab those two files, download them. You have to download those two files inside the C drive scripts folder inside virtual machine. So what am I talking about here? See this? Go to the virtual machine, open your yellow folder, go to the C drive of your virtual machine. In the C drive, just create a new folder called scripts. So I'm going to right click here. See this? New. Hey, we all know how to create a new folder in C drive of virtual machine, right? So folder SCRIPTS scripts, right? Okay, so we're going to create an empty folder inside the C drive of the virtual machine, and we're going to put these two files there. Please exactly follow this step. So create an empty folder in the C drive of the virtual machine, download those two files and copy them inside the scripts folder, right? So I'll just go to quick access. Oh, it's not. Okay, I'll just go again. I'll just copy directly from here. So hopefully everyone knows how to download and then copy files. The download files, first you download, then you need to know where did you download, then just copy paste these two files, create lab users and then lab users.csv. So one is a CSV file, second is a PowerShell file. PS1 is a PowerShell file. So make sure your screen exactly looks like my screen right now. So I created an empty folder in the C drive of virtual machine called scripts. I pasted these two files here. If you're done, just type done there. If not done, then please done it and then do it. Then tell me. Okay, wow, that's a you know, like denial of service attacks. So that's a done. That is DOS. So it's raining done. Actually, it's literally raining outside. Okay, that's good. Whoa, wow. Okay, good. So your screen must look like this for us to go ahead now. Anyone? So now, if I ask anyone not done, let me know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go ahead. So here, now we need to open PowerShell with admin privileges. We need to open PowerShell with admin privileges. If I right click here, I see command prompt. So that's not PowerShell, right? So how about just open the command prompt, although, you know, there's another way to open PowerShell, but let me just show you from here as well. Just open command prompt with admin privileges, right? Just open command prompt with admin privileges. And then type what? PowerShell. See this? Just type PowerShell here, enter, and you got PowerShell. Woohoo, yay! Right? Okay, so, or you can go to the actual PowerShell, just left click here, and you can see this PowerShell here, and right click, more, and then there's a run as administrator. So if you want to go for all those steps, so I'm just stopping it here for a few seconds. So just left click, right click, then go up there, right click the PowerShell, go to more, run as administrator. So this is the way you can do that as well. Okay, so both are same PowerShell, right? So if you open that one or this one, it's the same thing. Now we need to reach this folder that we created, and we need to execute those files. So I'm just gonna go to cd /, so those who remember DOS commands there, cd /, then dir to see the contents of the drive. Then there's that scripts folder here, this one, scripts folder, right? So cd space scripts, or cd and tab, cd space scripts and enter, and then dir to see the contents of scripts. So these two folders, these two files should be there inside the scripts folder. I hope everyone was able to do that, or you do. If you want me to repeat that, okay, there you go. So if you're able to do that, now we need to just simply execute the PowerShell file ps1, and it's going to ask, hey, where are the 390 users? So we're going to give the path of the lab users.csv. In this file, there are names of 390 users written there with a password as well. So it's going to grab all the names from CSV file, and it's going to create user counts in Active Directory for those names. You can just keep on adding more names there as well, and one day it's going to be 1,000 names or something. Okay, so here we need to start typing the first three or four letters of this create lab users.ps1. So C R E A, right? Then we're going to press the tab button on the keyboard. So just type it is going to autocomplete. Not only that, it's going to autocomplete, it's going to put it in that state where you can execute the file. So see this, if I put the first few letters and then I press tab here, so it's going to change to dot backslash and then the create lab users.ps1. This is also how you can execute a PowerShell file. There's a script inside, right? It's going to get executed. So if you press just tab once, it's going to change it to that. If it is changed to that and you're good, press enter, and it's going to show you, hey, where is the lab users CSV file with the 390 users inside? We know where that is, right? So it is inside this scripts folder. Yay, scripts folder, right? So double click that scripts and lab users. Oops. Mustafa, you got an error? Okay. So, well, others, just double click this file and go ahead. Others, those who are here, just double click this file and error check. Okay. So minus is done. Unauthorized access. Oh, okay. So if you get unauthorized access, I'm just gonna cancel for Mustafa here. Mustafa, see this? Okay, so many are done. Mustafa, see this? You can type this set dash exe. Just write this, Mustafa, and I'm gonna press tab here. Set dash exe and press tab. Oh, first of all, Mustafa, are you seeing administrator on the top here? Are you seeing the administrator word on the top or not? Oh yes, okay. Then yes, your PowerShell may not be allowing you to run any policy. So I'm just giving you another command. Set execution policy as unrestricted. This will allow you to run any PowerShell or remote signed or unrestricted, whatever you want. Restricted, right? So set dash execution policy space unrestricted. Once you put that and press enter, so it should then let you do that. Then again, since you're inside that folder, again go for CREA and then press tab. Make sure that it is exactly showing like this dot backslash. Don't type that. Maybe you're typing that, right? So just press tab and automatically change it to this state, and then press enter, right? Okay, that's good. Let's check if you're using PowerShell on CMD. Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, did you type PowerShell there? It, you know, at the start it should show PS. Before the C, is it showing PS? So make sure that it is showing PS there before the C. Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's in the Exchange URL. So I'm just gonna press enter again. So now it's asking where is that file lab users. So I'm just gonna double click that scripts here, right? Double click that scripts, and there's the lab users. So just double click that as well. There you go, right? Just go ahead and double click that, and there you go. So why the users are created under Exchange users instead of users OU? So Tariq, this script that is inside the PS1 file, it suggests to create a new OU and put those all users here. If the script has told create all the users in the default users OU, then it would have done that. But the script actually asks to create first a new OU and then do that. So it's the script. But yes, guys, you have the script. You can actually go inside, open it in Notepad, and actually make some changes there, right? Yeah, you can modify it exactly. Okay, so guys, here it is completed. Now remember one more thing here. All the users that you have created here, their password is, so 390 users script password is password1, right? So it's capital PASSWORD1, exactly. So it's password1. Remember that. Yeah, it has created a user called exchange, OU called exchange users, exactly. That's what this script is programmed to do. Remember that all created users password is password1, right? What this script did is this. To have separate OU instead of, yes, it's better to have a separate OU. That's also good. Okay, guys, where are those users? I'm gonna go to server manager here. I'm gonna go to tools here and open what? Active Directory users and computers. So let's click that. Active Directory and computers in tools. And where is that? There it is. Exchange users, yay! Okay, guys. Now it's time to synchronize. Let's do that, and then we'll carry on with Slab in next class as well. So let's synchronize. So the exchange users is created there, and so if it is created there, let's double click that Azure Ad Connect now. It's in downloads folder for me. Let's go back, everyone, to Azure Ad Connect. Last 10 minutes remaining. So let's double click this Azure Ad Connect. So once, sorry, what did you select in tools? Oh, Ajibola, it's see this tools, Active Directory users and computers. This one, Active Directory users and computers, and then expand the domain name, right? So it could be, if you're following this, Ajibola domain.local. So expand that, and then you can see exchange users. This one, OU, organizational unit. Okay, so guys, double click that and you should be on this page. Is everyone on this page? Yes. Okay, thank you for that reply. Okay, so I'm gonna click that I agree to the license terms here. Obviously we have to agree to that, and click continue. Oh, which step? Ajibola, you missed which step? Did you double click this Azure Ad Connect? We installed it already, right? So minimize everything. You did not install this? So it's installed, right? So just minimize everything, go to the desktop area and double click that. Alright, okay. So guys, here once you're there, so click the I agree, right? And click continue. Now express settings are there, and it says your domain.local is not routable domain. Yes, it is okay. We don't want our domain to be connected directly to internet, right? It's not connected to internet directly. It's okay. It's a local domain for a local environment. So ignore this. Second thing, we will use express settings. Let's go for express settings, right? And once you go to the express setting, that's the first thing you'll see. Hey, what is the username of global admin in Azure? Remember the notepad? So copy paste the username and password now. Remember, the password is what you change. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back up there. This is the punishingly long username here. Hopefully I can copy paste that. So just Control V. Oh, thank God I can. And the password. So I'll go back to the notepad. XYZ, ZZZ. And right click and paste. So the password, username and password is, now if you have internet connection and if you put the correct username password, it's gonna let you go ahead. Otherwise, work on your username password. So click next. I hope you all logged in and changed it, but otherwise it's not gonna work. So if you click next now, if everything is good, it went to the Azure subscription, it confirms this username password, and then it will take you to this page, which is connect to ADDS. This is your local forest. So first it asked in the previous page for the top username password of Azure. Now it is asking in the next page the top username password of your this local forest on premises. So how we put it, your first name domain / administrator. This is your domain name / your top account of the forest administrator, right? And the password, what is the password for that? The local one, small ABC, capital ABC, shift 123 without shift 123, right? So this is the password for your local top admin account of your on-premises network domain. So if you have put in your domain / administrator, if you were on this page and you put that in as well, click next. So now it is saying Azure AD sign in configuration. Hopefully everyone's on this page. So it says that, hey, I can't find your first name domain.local in Azure. It's okay because we didn't have any internet connection from our local domain to our Azure. This is just local. It's supposed to be just local domain. It should not be there up there in connected to Azure. So it's okay that it's not there. And then it says continue without matching all UPN suffixes to verified domains. So UPN suffixes is just your end part of the domain name, which is your first name domain.local, right? So your username would be John at your first name domain.local, right? Bob at your first name domain.local. So we don't have any such domain up there, so it's okay. And we're saying yes, continue without comparing that. So click next. Ready to configure? So it's going to do all that and start the configuration process. When configuration completes, yay, or yay. Okay, so if you have that page, click install. Okay, so if you see your so once it is finished, even during that process, let's go back to our Azure Active Directory, and you might, after some time, if you keep refreshing there in the users area of Azure Active Directory, you will start seeing some of the users appearing there, and then finally all 300 users will be there. So I'm going to go to my, well, the process hasn't finished yet, but I'm going to go up there where I should be. I should be in Azure Active Directory in the users area. And how should it look like for you? It should, once it is done, it should look like this for you. I have done that a million times, so that's why all the users, 6 or 7 names are there. 6 or 7 times same users is there. So make sure that you have, before we disconnect, make sure that you got all the users there. Once they are there, you can click done, and you can just type done there. And if they're not there, so yes, yeah.
We should where it should be in the page of the user that we created, or in the where?
See this?
Please.
So once you're inside Azure Active Directory, and inside Azure Active Directory, there's a users page here, this one. So click that users, and you should be here. All right, Shiva says done. Woohoo! So you can just suspend your machine, right click, power, suspend, and see you next class. Yay!
So we put the our authorized user in AD Connect, like in AD Azure Connect, right?
Yeah,
Azure
AD
AD Connect.
Yeah, just say so.
And yeah, so that's what our authorized authorization
Yes,
process, right?
exactly. So,
Yeah, I got on premises directory synchronize. This is that one?
yeah, so you got one user, right? One or two users?
Two user,
so
yeah.
ultimately it's gonna look like the way it's looked like for me. So all the current users will be there, but it's initializing, or some of the users are appearing in your user's account now. It's still processing. And Chintan says in the chat, it's sync and added on-premises directory sync. Exactly.
Is it gonna be charged or
This is gonna be, sorry?
charged?
Oh no, the users will not be charged.
And the domain, Active Directory?
It will not be charged as well?
No. Because I saw you $56,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
afraid.
That was, and I saw that why they are there. They are for SQL Server. It was written there.
Okay.
I have these users for 4 years now, and they haven't charged me. So normally when the charges come, they also give the reason for the charges. And I never saw that I have these many users, that's why they are charging. So either SQL or network, I forgot to delete the network, then they charge. Okay, so Arti says, can you, okay, mine is also done. Okay, that's very good. Chintan, Arti says, can you please repeat sync in incognito window? Sync in incognito window. So Arti, you can in Azure, you don't have to go to incognito now. You can go to that user, that subscription account, which was when we logged in, and from there you can go to Azure Active Directory. And okay, so Nargis, Ashraf, Tariq, Chintan, all done. Where you go, guys? Suspend your machines. Bye bye. See you next class. We're gonna continue with this lab, and please do repeat this lab at home and recreate the whole environment. So Chintan says Dan will charge back to Amir. He will charge to college. Oh, what? No. Okay. So Arti, let me know if you're done. Okay, Olufemi, Ajibola are done. Chintan is done. Tariq is done. Where to go, guys? So we're gonna start from there. We're gonna continue the lab because we need to run some tests. Also, we need to add the domain as a tenant. So please make sure that you bought the GoReady.com domain already before the next class, right? So make sure that you bought the GoReady.com domain in next class, before the next class. Done, and thank you very much. Okay, welcome. And
I don't know why my one's still configuring, like Microsoft Azure Active Directory Connect. It's
yeah,
still
keep
configuring.
refreshing it, Usman. And one day, Monday or Sunday, it's gonna come. And thank you. Mustafa says how long it takes to sync. Mustafa, it depends on the internet speed as well. Maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes. 10 is too much.
So when it's done, how can I check my users? Like where in users Active Directory?
So, but here you need to check because it's gonna reach here. And also, guys, do you see this? Because it should end here in your. This process should show this screen here. If it is ended, then go back there to Azure and refresh. Can I use my existing one?
Sir, in AWS we need to log out. Here also in the Azure, or just leave it, we can
Yeah, if
just...
it is done already, you see your 390 users, then just log out. It's okay. And refresh this or suspend this machine.
But if I leave it open, will not charge.
It will not charge if it is open. This is not charged normally.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I see mine Azure Ad Connect completed. Zaki says, and Zaki refresh page and keep on refreshing. It's gonna come.
Sir?
Yep.
So how can I change the password for the first time after creating a user?
Oh, yeah. So you have to log in. Okay. That incognito you were talking about.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
yes.
go to are you in incognito mode? So
Yes, sir.
here, just type here portal.azure.com. Portal.
Okay.
And then put the username and password.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Cool. And there are a lot of comments here. Yep. I got that. Now I see the default on Microsoft given in Azure Cloud. That's pretty good. Chintan says we have to suspend VM. Yes, suspend the VM.
So like we have to delete VM or just?
So it will be this. See this, guys. Suspend means we're gonna continue working on this in next class. So right click, power, and there is a suspend guest.
Okay, shut down. Yeah. Shut down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's the whole configuration is frozen.
Sir.
Yep. Yep.
Hello. Can I use my existing domain?
Yes, you can use your existing domain if you were able to. If you removed it from some other subscription, yes, you can.
Yeah, I should remove from the other subscription. Alright. Okay, so DNS on GoDaddy and everything I didn't clean up and it's still there. Everything
if you
is
removed
there.
it successfully from the previous subscription, then everything else is okay.
Okay, thank you.
Cool.
Okay, thank you.
Because Mustafa says what to do with these users. So Mustafa, it's okay to you don't have to do anything and they will not charge. So it's okay to leave those users here and sign out and suspend the machine.
Where can I see my users? I am done with the Active Directory AD Connect, like AD Azure Connect.
That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
So go to Usman, see this? Go to Azure Active Directory here. Azure Active Directory in Portal menu, this one. Azure Active Directory, and then go to users, this one. All right, thank you, bye-bye, thank you. I'm gonna please share.
Yeah, I'm in users, yes. But...
Show. In the LMS I will show. Yeah, you were saying?
I'm in users right now, so I can see like on-premises directory synchronized or...
Yeah, keep refreshing. Don't you see all the users? All right, good night.
No, I can only see 3 users, like 2 of them were there, and the third one on-premises directory synchronized is just, I can see
so
now.
keep refreshing. You did not suspend the machine, right?
No, I did not suspend the
So
machine
your
yet.
process is done in the machine? This,
yeah, it's done. Yeah,
so
it's
then
done.
keep refreshing. Then the slow internet is there only.
Okay.
So guys, this is power and suspend gas. This is the way we can do that. And next time you just unsuspend it, right? If there anyone else who wants to still join, let me know. Okay, bye bye everyone. Thank you.
So Amir, how do we know like it's all syncing, like all users sync?
It will keep on syncing.
I don't
No,
see the
you
number.
don't see all.
I can see now, but I don't see the number. Like I'm just trying to.
So then you have to run the scripts. You can open Cloud Shell. Next time we're gonna open Cloud Shell here, this one, and then we're gonna run some PowerShell commandlets as well. From there you can see the numbers.
Also, if you try to filter, Chintan, if you try to filter, you will be able to see how many users you have. 390.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah. Yes, Mohammed Jafri, we're going to be covering MFA in next class. First, we're going to do the domain, then we're going to do the MFA. I can see now, thanks. Okay, good. Very good. All right, thank you. Bye-bye. See you, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Baba.
I'm going to right-click here and suspend machine. Yay!